Cool. We do have new things on PP website as well to talk about in a bit as well.
Yes, we do. I'm actually just going through those.
Also, story on there. There's a Pharaoh UA.
Yes, and we
knew he was coming, but that's nice, like
that. 3 points for 2 pig irons.
Mercenary minion privateer sea dog solos. What?
Oh, the Gobble River Raiders.
Yeah. Devastation.
It's the very controversial.
And we have rules for the Glacier King as well.
Yes, we do.
Sat in London with Liz, who I've been seeing now for about 2.5 months. Sat in London, and suddenly on the way train, I was like, "Hang on, Gen Con was last weekend, wasn't it? When I was on holiday, quick to the internet." And then I gave up on Google and went War Room. I was thinking, hang on, if it's been released, it'll be on War Room, and it is.
I should probably bring War Room over then.
So yeah, I'm just doing that now, and it's definitely better than the Mountain King.
Give me a second.
It's 2 points cheaper for a start. I'm gonna need glasses for all this shit, aren't I? I managed to leave my tablet at my mother's as well. We can discuss it in more detail. I'm sure there's quite a lot to do.
You can keep talking, but my headphones aren't on it yet.
Blah 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 blah.
There we go.
It's normal. People talking and not listening is just the normality for me, though. I just get used to it.
Well, you are in management, so
I am.
Worse yet, NHS management.
NHS senior management. Yes.
Oh, sorry, senior management.
I don't know quite how. I'm in the bottom of the management grade, to be honest. I'm not quite senior. I think, and if you're as soon as you're on the management grade, you are a senior manager because if you're
because you're senior to other people.
Yes.
So it works, right?
It's about that.
Yeah, so what did we have in the last update on War Room? We do have a couple of questions, including from Matt, who is trolling quite happily.
Which Matt?
Townsend.
Oh, why did I ask that question?
Where's Reddit gone? As a tournament winner, do you feel that team tournaments like the ETC, UTC show off more skill at the game? And
are we all tournament winners? Has Alex got a first coin?
Yes, he won his own tournament, if you remember.
That's
about as best one.
That's about as bad as me winning the first food machine. That is. That's the same level, isn't it? I won a tournament by buying it. He won a tournament by running his own tournament.
To be fair, I've won a food machine tournament as well.
Oh, yes.
Also a hardcore.
I haven't won a hardcore.
And a normal steamroller. Yeah, I've even got a certificate that says so up there.
Well, I've got a certificate so I can write out myself.
But yes, his second question was, is the game of X-Wing getting too big and in need of a second edition?
Oh, dear God. Yeah, it's called Armada. Sorry, Armada.
I've actually stopped listening to that podcast. So I've removed it from my iTunes list. I'm
not up to date with it, but I haven't actively stopped listening to it.
Yeah, there's a couple of others that are dangerously in that territory at the moment.
What have been removed?
Yeah. Oh, the other question we have is from Dan Cave, who's asked what my decision was on my list pairings. Am I sticking with Ashton and McBain, or am I moving on? So there you go.
I think I was going to not drink this week, bro. Supposed to be drinking tomorrow night.
I'm sorry, Kurt. Have you rejoined Student Lifestyle or something?
Why?
Oh, if I'm drinking tomorrow, can I drink tonight as well? Oh.
No. Tomorrow is the person that I'm dating has a 17-year-old daughter. So she said, "Can you drink tomorrow?" Because I was like not drinking in the week. I said, "Can you drink tomorrow?" Because I had 2 weeks holiday, so I've been drinking every day. So I'm like, must stop drinking. And she said, "You drink tomorrow because obviously it's AS levels result day tomorrow, um, and oh, don't look up." And then so that's made me think, hang on, I'm just going to not drink. So if I don't drink, if I do have a cider, which is tempting, especially having seen your cider.
Just realised it. The light really just bleached me out when I sit here.
Yes.
Right, so rules-wise, we've got Acosta, Zal, Pharaoh Warlord, and Glacier King.
Yes. What was the other bits? All I heard was Glacier King.
So rules-wise, we've got those four: Acosta, Zal, Pharaoh Warlord, and Glacier King.
Ooh.
Model-wise, we have the Witch Doctor.
Is he a solo?
Who?
The
The
Pharaoh
Warlord. He's a UA for the Brigands.
Oh, he's the UA. I see, right.
Yeah, gives them Prowl, which is really useful in a faction that has no clouds.
Hmm. Don't see a relevance to your point of view. Right. Let's have a look at this. 3 points?
Yeah.
I'm immediately upset about that. 3 points
I would
for
be as well.
Pharaoh UA. Attachment can be added to Pharaoh Brigand unit. Oh, not any Pharaoh, just the Brigand unit. Dig in, good. Granted, gang. Oh, it gives them gang, though. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Which works really well with a ranged unit.
They're not, though. They're a melee unit that have guns.
Are they?
Yes.
Fair enough.
Yeah, they are. They're not really a ranged unit. They're shit at range. They have guns, which is the guns. Guns are all right, but a reform as well. Okay, that's actually quite nice. Reform and gang, and a decent amount of death on his own. He hasn't got tough. I thought he'd have tough. Has he got gunfighter? Yeah. Ooh. Oh, he's got. Oh, he has got an axe, but he's got 2 pistols. He can shoot them in. He's got gunfighter. That's what the gun means, isn't it? Okay. Good. Oh, where's this fucking Smith Blake then?
What? Smith? What? Oh,
where's Alex?
yeah, that's a good question, isn't it?
I thought I'd bring it up as you know, as it's
Wonder
gone
if the
night
Bake
now.
Off's running late.
Oh god. He said he's up for a drink first, but bad company and too stressed for the whole night. Cool.
Well, we haven't had any messages off him, so
We could talk about exploding kittens.
oh, that's arrived, has it? For you.
It's freaking awesome. I played it a lot all weekend. I played a lot of games.
Oh, here we go.
Alex,
Family had happened.
oh dear. Vomiting child. Conjuring child. That's a good interpretation of vomiting on my phone. No calling for me.
Well,
Just the 2 of us.
Yeah. I can't delay this any longer.
Nope.
Because otherwise it runs across my RPG groups. So
Well, no, absolutely. Yeah, I agree. Well, we either do it or we don't do it. We can do it. We can do this. We can do this. Yeah, I can't be asked to even trying to. It's a bit late even now. If he'd told us earlier, you could start appealing for getting guest people on, but it's a bit late to even try that now.
pretty much.
Oh dear.
So people will just have to
Suck it up.
yeah, basically.
I just shouted suck it up with my back door wide open. Oops.
Oh, don't worry, the window's open here, but thankfully the scaffolding keeps it from opening too much.
Good.
We're having the roof replaced.
When I get back, there is tidying to be done. Your English grammar. Your oh no, that's better actually. The wrong your is even more funny. Your grammar is appalling. Your gamer, that's even better.
You hurt me.
I'm dating an English teacher. She would just fucking stab me for that.
Good.
She
Good.
would. She really would. That means I'm gonna have to concentrate and can't get it with the ironing now, doesn't it?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh fuck! I can just get away sitting here though. It's fine.
Well,
I can't play.
You can't play
Sorry.
League of Legends either.
I don't play League of Legends, as you well know, but I have started playing Marvel Contest of Champions. Yeah, it's another utterly pointless game.
Oh, we do have an offer.
Offer?
Yes.
Who's it?
It's Mr. Townsend.
Oh, I do. Yep. He's never been on. Yep.
Let's see if he's on Google Plus.
Was he listening on YouTube then? Just them?
Presumably. At Townsend.
I haven't seen him in ages. We have a replacement already.
Alex,
Not
you're finished.
worry.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Yes. Ooh.
Cool.
He's in tall screen.
It's got his top of head. Nice. I don't have a cam. We're not doing it.
How you doing there, Mr. Townsend?
I don't tell the video.
I'm the only one with the bandwidth for that.
I have the bandwidth for that. I'm just not doing it.
Fair enough.
Hmm.
Okay.
I'd have to get dressed if I want to put the cam on, obviously.
I
No,
don't want to think of you with clothes on, Kurt. Wait, hang on.
I don't think it's wise. No, I wouldn't.
So, right. Rule-wise, we have Acosta, Zal, the Pharaoh Warlord, Glacier King, and model-wise, we've got the Blind Water Brew, Witch Doctor, Denny 3, the River Raiders, and Siphon.
And was the Brigand Warlord out last time? Soul
no,
Trappers?
If we're talking about the... Oh, Soul Trappers, yes. They have to go.
Yeah. And
If we're talking
Chromac
about
Chromac model fully kind of revealed. I know it's been out. I know it's out, but it's been previewed now.
Well, Matt's moving to his laptop. So, Soul Trappers,
And we've got Rias and Seren as well.
Chromac and the Twins.
Yes. And Rias and Seren. Oh, sorry, you meant that. Sorry.
Yes.
Not something else. Good.
Yes. God, it's warm in here.
It is warm here. I've opened the back door.
Well, I'm wearing the Hawaiian shirt for a reason, so...
I did see that. I've now stepped away from that screen. I'm looking at a different screen now. It's much better. I'm connected on my PC. I'm using my laptop for everything else. No, I'm getting excited now. That's too much. I know what that sound is. I'm getting excited. I'm not having that. I'm not having that at all. There's no way. I know it's in the fridge.
I've got another 2 litres downstairs.
I've got 3 bottles of Katie, and some gin, so it's all good.
Lovely French cider.
Lovely French. I don't mind Belgian. I don't mind Cidre. Pear Cidre, anyway.
Oh no, this is better quality than that.
Oh, okay. I just quite like. I grew up down here, so I like Somerset cider.
Like proper, honest cider.
Yes. Well, slightly commercialised and single apple variety cider.
I will say that at the ETC, I had to go down as far as Strongbow.
Strongbow pear's not bad, but Strongbow proper. No. There's Strongbow, some kind of Strongbow cloudy coming out. So an advert and a tube for it.
That can't be real. Actually, that's better lighting.
It's supposed to be sparkling. Sparkling cloudy. What is that about? So it's missed the point of what cloudy cider means.
That doesn't seem like it should be real.
Welcome to Elite Cadre cider reviews. This week,
there is space in the podcast world for that podcast, I feel, if it does not already exist.
There's definitely beer podcasts. There's definitely some of the people I talk to on Twitter have beer podcasts. There's definitely one. So not sure about cider, and not necessarily sure authentic. I could go Herefordshire, but Somerset cider, you know.
Proper cider from the West Country. You are a cider drinker. Ooh-ah.
I had gin made from cider a few weeks ago. Oh my god,
good lord.
It's so good. Mate, that's Herefordshire. So good.
That's the sort of stuff that Norbert would turn up with.
Yeah, I'm kind of needing. I'm gonna have to start talking to him about gin and tonic. I've started drinking gin and tonic quite a lot. Gonna have to go back, revisit my gin and tonic conversation with Norbert. Where I was like, I don't understand. I do now, and I need to talk to him about it. So if you do listen to our podcast, and listen to this bit, which will probably be at the end, Norbert. I need to talk to you about G&T.
Norbert doesn't listen to this. He's got far more important things to do.
I don't know. You watch. Look, I bet you somebody tells him or something, and I get a random email from him at 2 a.m. tomorrow or some stupid shit.
What sort of questions are there about gin and tonic?
What kind of gin? What kind of tonic? What goes well together? What do you put with it? That's the starting point. Yeah, that is the start. I mean, there's tons. I've learned the varieties of gin that I like, and he was telling me different ways you can make tonic and why tonics are different before when I wasn't interested, let alone when I am. I'll never get him out of my house if he comes down here.
Yeah, that's because he'll be paralytic.
Yeah. Yeah, and probably busy playing Exploding Kittens.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, Matt's playing with apps.
Yep, sorry. I'll get rid of that.
It only appears on yours, but it gives me a notification whenever something.
Okay.
So, feel free to have a fiddle with whatever you want to fiddle with. So.
Okay.
Okay, maybe off cam, eh?
Yeah, true. I say, matron.
Indeed. Anyway, so yes. Are you finished writing your quick single-side A4 agenda?
Well, let me just add VETC to the end of it.
That's quite important.
You weren't at the ETC, were you, Matt?
No, I missed it totally.
Oh.
That surprises me. It's not like you. Not like me either, but not like you.
No, I've never been to an ETC, actually.
Oh, have you never been to... Wow!
I know.
Is it just something that doesn't interest you, or...?
No, just I've usually worked retail, so weekends are hard to get off, and that's always been one of them.
Yeah. I suppose as well, weekend, middle of summer, they're usually like big points where everyone goes out.
Yeah.
And also, people who have children generally book them in the previous August for leave, don't they?
As best they can, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, should we get this flaming bandwagon on the road?
Oh, yeah.
So what I'll do with the introduction, Matt, is I'll introduce us, and then I'll do you third, and yeah.
We'll go from there, yeah.
Yes, and after that it will be the usual trundle through whatever.
Sounds good.
Right. Hello, and welcome to Elite Cadre, the Hordes of War Machine podcast that doesn't take itself too seriously. I'm Mike.
I'm Kurt.
And today we have a special guest. It's Mr. Matt Townsend.
Yay!
Whoa. Well, thank you. I didn't expect that sort of welcome.
Well,
It's always a royal welcome here.
Anybody's better than Nick, let's be fair.
I'm glad I meet your high standards.
We just seem to keep getting rid of co-hosts and then sort of going, is there anyone else available? You'll do.
You've heard of the game.
Once or twice, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we had Benj on and everything, so that it's a step up from there.
And none of us talking to Jimmy, so it's all good.
Let's not go there. Okay. Well, should we fly straight on into something approaching some sort of news segment?
Oh yeah, I think it's quite a lot of news, isn't it?
Do you want to start with the big special thing, Kurt?
Hang on, my war room's locked. Which big special thing? Slots. Yes.
Well, not the kind of colossal kind of thing, I'm guessing.
The gargantuan colossal, yes. Yes. Finally, and that's the wrong button. I've been pushing that button too many times. And my war room's being really slow now. It was all loaded all nicely, and now it's decided to take ages. Right. The Glacier King rules appeared on War Room. How long ago? A week ago? 2 weeks ago? Recently.
Something like that.
Recently. And while I was apprehensive, I'm liking it a lot more than I did the Mountain King.
I think that's a common theme that's been running through a lot of Troll players at the moment.
It does seem to be a bit better in a lot of respects.
It's 2 points cheaper. That definitely helps.
It's a good
most people said if Mountain King was 2 points cheaper, they'd be a lot happier.
Yeah. I mean, he has lost some power as a side effect, but still, PNS 19 is respectable, especially when you consider that you're going to have the stone and some other kind of buff as well.
And at best in the world, Rage or we always have +2 melee buffs somewhere in the army. So
just throw flaming fists on it; it's probably fine.
Exactly. Yeah, flaming fist on a snow giant troll. Excellent.
I'm hitting you with fire and ice. This is perfectly fine.
It's great. Yeah, and I quite like the rate of fire 3 ranged attack, range 12 as well. So effectively range 16.
Now Rat 5, but boostable, which that's in the reasonable area.
Power 14, shoving things backwards. It's giant snowballs. It's all good.
Those thunderbolts are definitely going to be nice ball control, getting people out of zones, things like that. Yeah.
Yes, and of course, boostable to hit. You're going to trigger the crit much more often.
Like it. I like it a lot.
So, if you want that Warjack, not only out of the zone but knocked down, it's a great way to do it.
In the river. Yeah.
How often is water on the board, though?
Oh, I've seen it more often these last couple of years. People are finally going, okay, let's put one piece of water every 3-4 tables, and it's fine.
I was going for comedy value rather than realism or actual tactics. Yeah, it's not that kind of podcast.
Oh no, I'm getting used to it.
I quite like the concealment within 3 inches of it as well. Snowfall grants friendly models concealment. I quite like that.
And specifically triggers Prowl.
Well,
just in case you are taking scouts.
Yes. Anyway, yes.
No, it doesn't, because it's not either magical or a terrain feature.
Oh, but it gains concealment, and if you gain concealment, that triggers Prowl to stealth.
No, it doesn't. It has to be granted by either a spell or a terrain feature.
Oh, does it? Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
So, which is why this specifically spells it out and says you get Prowl, which is, that's good. Given how often... Oh, have you opened Exploding Kittens?
I have. The thing doesn't quite work, so I thought I would experiment with it and why it doesn't work.
It comes with sound effects.
It does.
The box has a meow when you open it. I think we can discuss that later when we get around to our hobby section.
I'll put it down now. I'll deal with it later. Yeah, so it's quite nice. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm intrigued. I was never going to get the Mountain King, and it's a nice model, but I was never going to get it. This I'm definitely going to get.
What do you think of the Animus?
Horrible.
Horribly good or horribly bad?
Horribly good for you, horribly bad for your opponent.
Yeah, if you aim within 3 inches of it, model is knocked down. How good is that? Without immunity cold. I know there's more immunity cold than there used to be, but it's still a matter of like single-digit figures, aren't there? With immunity cold. So,
mostly Cadre or
Trolled.
Legion.
And Trolls.
Yes. That's true.
bits of jobs. No, that's lovely.
You-
If you end within 3 inches of it, you're knocked down.
You get the right things blocking areas in front of you, and suddenly, oh, I've killed that throwaway model, but I'm still knocked down, and oh dear, I'm getting smacked by a Glacier King.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it helps that it is, well, a pretty decent model as well. Actually, looking at it.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I like the way it's heavily influenced by the original Mauler. I like it.
Yes, I mean, it's a very iconic troll pose. That kind of come at me, bro, sort of thing. Again, it's going to be hell to transport. It's if you can imagine a mountain king, but with a massive rack of ice spikes coming off the back, and in a Diatrol Mauler pose.
Yeah, the original one.
Oh yes, I'm with you.
Yeah,
Leaning forward, it's open hands open, claws. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got the 3D render now.
there we go.
It's good. I like that a lot. So, definitely going to be on my autumn shopping list when it finally released properly. Or at least something fun to use my points for, perhaps. Look at it that way.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
The first abuse of PG points.
Absolutely. I've done it before, so yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I like that. I'm happy with it. I'm much happy. I mean, it's got 5 Fury. I mean, you throw that out. I mean, I know the thing has everything big in Trolls has anyway, but and threshold of 6, which means it's likely to go schizo if you leave it with any points. But I'm intrigued also to wait for Doomy 3 now, because Doomy 3 is clearly going to have a lot of connection with us.
Yes.
Oh yes, that new unit.
He was the one who went and found the original Mountain Kings, so where's this one going to take him?
Yeah. I'm wondering what his theme list is going to look like. What his theme list is going to. I assume his theme list will include this in some regard.
Well, if it's Doom Shaper, judging by the other two, we know it's going to be pretty nifty.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So,
Yes.
okay. So that's that one done. Should we go on to one of your other?
The Warlord. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. Yes, that would be exactly what I mean.
The Pharaoh Brigand Warlord.
Yes.
It's a unit attachment for Pharaoh Brigands.
Oddly enough.
Yeah, it's stating the obvious. I do it well. The bit that I exclaimed only a matter of minutes ago was 3 points.
It does seem a bit excessive. Yeah, it's a bit excessive.
It is granting gang and reform though. Those are the bits that have jumped out as the valuable bits that he seems to add to the unit. Gang is going to make them infinitely better. But I think 2 points would have seemed cheap. 3 points seems a lot. It's one of those tipping points.
Yeah, I love how as well they've split it up between granted and tactics, and the tactics is on the one that you don't really care too much about losing midway through the game.
They both got granted. Gang and reform are both granted.
Yeah, and then you got tactics prowl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
you don't care about that. Yeah, if he dies, then you lose prowl.
No, you lose gang and reform.
Oh, I thought it was around. Oh.
Yeah. No, granted are the ones that go away if he dies, and tactics is the one that stays.
That's a shame. That's the wrong way around.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm just having a look at. I didn't realise Dig In was just for him. I thought it was for the rest of Brigands as well.
The rest of the
have it
unit
anyway.
has it.
They have it
Okay,
anyway.
cool.
I think do they also have an option to like advance and dig in, or
I'm not sure. That may have been an old rule. I'm not sure what's in there now.
Hang on, just checking.
I don't think they do.
They can make a ranged attack this activation before it makes its normal movement with Hog Wild.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
So dig in, especially their kind of their move dig in, and that's their turn. Oh, well.
Yeah.
It's not very
But,
exciting.
yeah, I mean 3 points for a 12-16 model. It's a big ask. He does, however, have 2 guns at Rat 6,
Yes.
which is pretty nifty.
And it is at 9 when in combat with Gang.
Yes, and Power 14,
Hmm.
which does put kind of a bullseye on his head.
Yes.
So I think he's going to be one that, I mean, you take the Brigands normally more with Carver than with anything else because of combined range.
True.
So it could be interesting for 3 points to add another 2 guns to that unit there and give them a little bit more flexibility.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Other than that, I think you'd have to play around with it. I mean, pigs aren't exactly the strongest faction anyway.
True.
But I suppose more options is always good for them.
I think the meat grinder thingy is going to help a lot, though. It doesn't synergize with this in any way, but I think...
No.
I think they are the comedy element faction, really, aren't they? Sub-faction, whatever you call them.
Yeah. Model-wise, he looks...
Oh, yeah, the model's been previewed too, hasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And he looks how you'd want him to look. He looks brigandy.
He looks part of the unit. Yeah, he looks part of the unit. He's a big, chunky brigand, really.
Yeah.
A bit more up-to-date, because his brigand units are a bit two-dimensional. Brigand models are quite old now, and he's a bit less. But it's still more the same, really. It's good.
Yeah.
I love my Pharaoh. It's all good.
I know you love your Pharaoh.
I do.
Right. Should we move on to one of mine, then?
Yeah, why not?
As I bring up his rules. This would be the new mercenary solo, who is on this list somewhere. Savio Montero Acosta.
Sorry, I'm already back. I'm already on Princess Bride.
Father.
Yes. It just sounds a bit like it. The way you said it, I was like, oh. You there, Mike?
A bit expensive. Still there?
Yeah, I'm here now. I don't know what happened there.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, on the other hand, you've got Acosta. Speed 7 with...
Is it me who's gone? Mike who's gone?
I think it was Mike, because I'm here.
Okay.
Right, he should be... Yeah, that's weird. That means it records centrally. Mike, are you there? You can see your picture still moving a little bit. That's weird. What's going on my screen?
Oh.
Hello, that's right.
Yeah, I'm still here. Mike really isn't.
Oh, okay.
You're back now. What's going on there?
Are you around, Mike?
Oh dear, technical issues.
Oh, terrible.
We're going to have to start Acosta again all over again in a minute.
Yeah.
Hello.
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 Am I dropping out frequently?
Yes.
Yes.
Right, let me...
I've turned all my shit off, so that's why I wasn't sure it wasn't me. Everything's turned off. So we start Acosta all over again in a minute.
Yes, I just need to...
So I can prepare the Princess Bride quite properly now.
Yes, I'm just going to close Steam and the Blizzard updater. I said I'm going to close Steam.
Good luck with that.
Have I mentioned how I hate computers?
You have, so have I.
Yet you work with them every day.
It's a hard life.
Do you take out your frustrations on them?
I have taken a heat gun, freezing spray, and a laser to some of their hardware.
What sort of environments are you putting them into?
Oh, well, this was just to check it could deal with heat.
Okay.
You know, heating it up to 100 degrees inside the case and seeing what went pop. Hopefully nothing. You laugh, that was literally... I had to write the test on that.
But this guy really is Inigo Montoya, isn't he? Montoya. The name's
Inigo Montoya.
Yeah, the name's even similar, isn't it?
Do you want me to start it again?
Yeah, I think we should start it again because it all broke up, so let's do that.
Okay.
Yep.
So, next on the list, we have the new mercenary, Savio Montero Acosta.
Did someone kill his father?
And should they prepare to die?
Yes.
Yes.
I think we've done that joke then.
Through the magic of editing, that's the first time that joke's been told.
Absolutely.
So fresh, too.
Yes. Yes, so he's speed 7, and he's got 2 PNS-13 weapon master attacks.
Wow.
dodge, riposte, steady, and swift vengeance.
What the hell? How many rules does he need?
By the way, he's also Mat 9.
That's quite a comparison for 3 points, isn't it?
And they're 15 and steady.
Yes.
Wow.
He's got the same defensive stats as some casters.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nuts. If you put something like Quicken on him, because he will only work for Signar, so that means Highborn Covenant.
Ooh.
Yeah, if you put something like Quicken on him from Ashlyn, speed 9, def 17 against magic and ranged, and if you miss him, he moves.
He's Thermarite, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Funny.
So he's a Thermarite rogue Stormblade type guy.
Did you ever read what was the book called that he's based upon?
Oh, I know of it. I've not read it though.
I haven't either.
They set up kind of a 30 dozen kind of storm brigade to go into fight men off. That was one of the characters in the book.
I was going to say, isn't this the same series of books that Verendry comes from?
Possibly, yes.
Yes. I think I've heard something along those lines, but not entirely sure.
Immunity to electricity is quite tasty.
Well, he's a Stormblade.
I know, but...
Sort of.
He is a rogue Stormblade, yeah.
Well, he's never been
he's
a
a Storm Guard, isn't he? He's rogue. He's more like a rogue Storm Guard, isn't it?
He doesn't have reach, though.
No. True.
So and he doesn't give the 3-point focus to Stormclads.
No, but doesn't Stormglaive the weapon, or certainly used to be the weapon of Storm?
Yes, yeah. And the entire model he's wearing that armor.
So, he's, as you might say, pretty tasty.
I like him.
So,
if you kill a model nearby, 14, 16 inches, he can just probably kill a caster from that far away.
He is up there in the list of models that, if they come near your caster, you just think, oh, this is going to be bad.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, he has got 2 ranged weapons as well. God knows if you're ever going to use them, but...
hasn't got assault, has he? No. That's what they look like for.
No, that would be silly. He also doesn't have Electro Leap.
Good. 3 points. It'd be 5 points if he can those two, wouldn't he? And you really would have a tiger in his head.
He is basically better than some Cav solos.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, that
he's
is...
7. He's fast, isn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, he's really good.
Actually, he is as fast as the Draken, has a better mat, he's only 1 lower POW, has more attacks.
How is he speed 7?
Because he's just that damn good. I think the whole thing...
What foot soldier speed 7 apart from elves?
I think the whole thing is that because he is a Thamurite, he has devoted his whole life to being the best foot trooper he can be.
Absolutely.
No distractions for anything else. So it basically fits his fluff that he has stupidly high stats.
Yeah.
And they are stupidly high. So, okay. Does the model come out for that one?
No, I haven't seen it.
No, it's not on PP's home web.
No. Oh well, never mind. One thing the model has come out for that we haven't talked about is Epic Zal.
Oh yes.
I forgot we have a resident Scorn player. This is good. I like this.
Yeah, I've been dabbling with Scorn this year. Oh, thank you.
So, I mean, you've seen his rules.
Yep.
So he's dead then, isn't he?
Yes, but his soul lives on in the stone form.
Yes.
Yes, he's turned into... Is it the Immortals, the unit?
Immortals, Ancestral Guardians,
Guardians,
yeah. Ancestral Guardians. So, Focus 7, Def 10, unfortunately, but Armor 18's pretty decent there.
Yeah, I think you're always going to make that trade-off.
Yeah. But the whole collecting souls within his control area is And transference just seems to be very, very interesting. Can't wait to get to play around with them.
So there's going to be a bit of a break in play here.
No worries.
I thought we could
What's
actually
up?
finish this bit first, but never mind.
No, well, you can carry on from here, but I actually need to find...
I was thinking of your editing.
Oh, don't worry, this will be a mess anyway. I'm sorry. I'm fully aware that... No, it doesn't really matter. Every so often, there's just an episode where I sit there and go, oh, this is going to be terrible.
Well, we have become supreme professionals over the 3 or 4 years we've been doing this, where actually this is hopefully, occasionally, even just a couple of cuts and you're done. One would hope. A bit more than that, but...
I think that the least... I think I've had one episode where it literally was just...
Top and tail it.
Yeah, top and tail, put the other stuff at the end. Ah, yes, Matt's found the actual model for Acosta now as well.
Yes, sorry.
Oh, I found it. Yeah. Ooh. He looks awesome.
Alex, are you going to join? Because he has said he can join.
Well, he's even got Signar logos on his freaking armour.
Yep.
So he is a Signar character that will just work for mercenary Signar armies.
Well, he's a mercenary. No, he's mercenary. He's an actual mercenary.
Okay.
Yeah, he's an Ordic mercenary, and he stole the armour, essentially.
Oh, okay. It just seems strange that they've
Stole,
still
got given.
Yeah.
Oh, he's that good that they just let him have it.
I don't think they could take it back off him.
A good point. Yes, that's fair.
Well, when he's got stats that are up there with the Butcher.
Yeah. He's awesome. I can see why he only works for Signar. If he works for anyone else, he'd be everywhere.
Oh, Crix, yeah.
Menoff, I was thinking, but yeah.
Well, Thamrat and Menoff, that's a little bit out there.
Yeah.
You can't do
have
that. No,
issues.
you couldn't do that at all, no. But Thamrat and Crix, yeah, I mean, Fiona the Black reads like a Crix caster, doesn't she?
Oh, God, yes.
Mm. I used to, in Mark 1, I used to like Fiona the Black a lot.
I still kind of prefer her old model, apart from the face.
You have to. I found with the old model, you have to. I didn't mind the face, but you have to build a base where she's hanging off the front of it, so you can weight of her hair and stuff is balanced on the base.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a painted, not attached to a new base yet.
How are you doing with your Scorn? I haven't, because I've not been on the quote unquote scene so much this year. Have your Scorn been doing? Because I know you were a bit of quite a lot of success with your Crix, but
Yes, Scorn, not so much success in the big tournament. Ran about 50-50 games there, but yeah, in the right day, I've won a couple of tournaments so far, and cool. I'm still having great fun with them. So
excellent. I mean, I think that's the case, isn't it? I think for most of us, you get a faction that you can do reliably well with, or it seems it's a reliable, dependable standard, wherever that may be. But you start swapping around and changing, and it's not. It takes a lot of effort to get another faction up to a similar level, isn't it?
Yeah. Plus, whenever I'd start a game with a Scorn for the first half of the year, it was right. Allocate my focus. No, I don't need to do that.
No. Oh, see, you've got the. So have you played Horde much before at all?
No, not really.
Oh, wow. Okay, so I started on Trolls. So it's going back to playing Menoff and playing War Machine is the other way around.
Yep. No, I've played much against Scorn and all the rest, but actually doing it is...
Oh, very different, yeah.
Oh, yeah. But great fun.
Got you.
Daddy or chips?
Daddy or chips. And then a small 6-year-old girl goes, chips.
With that voice as well.
Sorry?
With that voice, that deep, booming voice.
She does that advert. She has that voice. It's like, I can't do that deep. I can't do it as deep as this girl does. She goes, chips.
I'm sorry. I feel I need to remove that segment from the whole podcast and keep it for posterity. You say that you can't do it as deep as that girl does. Thank you.
My
Thank you.
Not as deep as that girl's voice. Yep.
Bravo, sir. Bravo.
Crap. I think there was an innuendo there somewhere, wasn't there?
Just about.
If not, he'll make it fit.
I've just seen the price of Denny. Jesus.
Oh, I haven't. I
Oh
haven't.
my God. Not an English price, I've just seen the American price. The American price is $70.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Or, as you may now know them, Kurt, PG points.
I'm not likely to spend a single PG point on Denny, thanks. It's a lovely looking model though, but no.
I thought we were friends.
You know, I mean, alright, so Signar being Signar, Signar is Signar, and that's nothing, it's just Signar.
Yep.
But before I hated Signar, I hated Crix. So, at least I own some Signar, I can't do Crix. I have owned Crix briefly in the past, I took on job lots of stuff and got rid of it again, but no.
As quickly as possible.
I know you love your Crix and you've been good at your Crix and it's all good, but I can't play. I just don't just don't get the faction. Don't understand how anybody will play them.
I may at some point look for someone to swap my Crix away with.
Just I can't imagine. Why would I play Crix? Just don't get it.
Because you want a slightly easier game sometimes. you want to just be able to go that model over there, 20 inches away. I want that model to have -7 armor. And then I want to hit. Go on.
But yes, you get that, and then you get every other bugger around there just going, I'm going to kill all the Crix. Every single one of them. They all gun for you.
That is true. The only problem is that playing Cadre for a lot of the time, and with Mercs to an extent as well, they go, I'm going to take things that beat Crix, which then turn up and smash Cadre as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm Alex.
Are you?
That was quite a Nick-esque entrance. Well done.
Through the window at high speed into a pile of boxes.
Yeah. No red car, no nothing.
Yeah. Right, so should we maybe start Mr. Zal again?
Where the hell were we? Oh, yeah.
Mr. Zal?
Yes, we're talking about Epic Zal.
Oh.
Z-A-A-L. It's a game called Hordes. You may remember it. Faction called Scorn. No, okay.
Sconf.
Scone, that's one.
Yeah, it's buttered scone.
Buttered scone.
Who is this character right here? Is that a certain Matt Townsend?
Hi,
That's
Alex.
what happens when you go, I've got family issues. That's what happens.
You know what? It seems we get guests on that sound increasingly like Nick Topham. First it was Benj, who sounded incredibly like Nick Topham.
Oh!
I can't really. I'd like to back you on this because I'd like to, but I can't. He doesn't sound anything like Nick.
That was a bit harsh.
Yeah.
Well, the words he says don't sound like words Nick would say because obviously they're far too intelligent. But there's just subtle hints of Nick Topham in the voice. I don't know why.
There really isn't.
There probably isn't.
And also, Matt knows how to play the game as well.
Yeah, well, that's the thing as well.
That's proved at the ETC.
Yeah.
I'm maybe just projecting my
insecurities.
No, my latent desire to have Nick on the show onto our.
What, just because you can ridicule him and you want me the lot of ridicule? Is that what you're going with this?
No.
Just go back to the why Austin is on the show.
No.
Okay, so we move on then with Epic Zal.
So do you spelling it out then, yeah?
No, we're on the news, Alex. The
news. Oh, okay. Did you hear
model,
that Scorn got a new Warcaster?
Exactly.
Epic Warcaster. I think it's a
dead one. A dead one.
Oh, yeah.
You might went to Warlock instead.
No, it's definitely a Warcaster.
Scorn with a Warcaster might not be able to do too much.
I know what I'm talking about.
Those jack points might go to waste.
And focus stood around on being unused.
Yep.
Cast spells. Transference.
Ooh.
Actually, that said, Scorn does have a Warcaster.
A good point, yes.
It does.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Can we kind of keep it a bit more...
Are you going to try and complain, Alex? Are you going to take the moral high ground?
Sorry, I dropped you then for a moment.
Shock.
Oh, how is everyone?
Existent. Moving on.
We did that already. You missed it.
Oh,
Yeah.
dear me. Dear me.
So,
Zal.
yes, Epic Zal then. He's the new Scorn Epic Warcaster.
Ancestral advocate.
Actually, that's the point. It does say Warcaster on his card.
Oh shit! Oh, Warroom, it does. Yeah.
Yeah, privacy oppressed. Where are the warjacks for Scorn? But he's still Fury 7, not Focus 7.
Is that an apology, Mike? Is that an apology?
Actually, what is the interaction for that if you're not a Warlock? But does that make him a War Beast then? Because he's not a Warlock, but he's got a Fury stat.
He's a Warcaster with no Focus stat.
Oh,
Good job
God.
he's dead, isn't it? It's good to be
Yes. Okay, so he is one of the branch of Ancestral Guardians, Immortals, whatever.
Solely-
Good. I like the waving of hands in the air, Mike. That was. I actually have to glance at the screen as you were describing that.
I do literal hand waving motions for this.
Good.
So Def 10 taking a bit of a hit on that, but obviously because he's now a rock, that makes sense. Arm 18 to compensate.
Can't fault that.
The stats are still a little low, but
Well, you get a Kriya in there, but he's not dying back much to any shots.
yeah. I mean, the thing is as well, Arm 18 with Fury is a lot different to Arm 18 with Focus.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, big difference. Speed Force, not as
Well,
big
the
a
armor
round
team, or the armor team with Focus is better than Arm 60. It's you're pushing that armor up above that line, aren't you? But yeah.
Yeah.
But
So when
still,
you do the
transfer,
transfer,
yes,
it's only going to be a couple of points now, rather than half a beast has gone.
yes.
So
Yeah, I was playing with Rask recently, and a War Beast took like 23 points.
Ooh.
What a fascinating story.
yes. There's been a lot made of his spell list and its relative merits. What's your take on this, Matt?
There's a lot of interesting stuff in there. Transference is going to be the main one that you can see being used all over, but if you don't have that External Soul Ward, or it's just been taken out because the guy knew that it wanted to die, then you've got Mage Sight to replace that. If you've got to kill that incorporeal model, or you want some more souls, you've got Annihilation, you've got a whole load of different things that are there in a pinch.
Yeah.
This really wasn't proofread. Transference still says spend one focus on this model.
Oh jeez, they screwed this one up, haven't they?
I think the reasoning behind this and why it's a bit of a mixed update, shall we say, is because very soon this version of War Room, as far as I'm aware,
Yes.
is going away.
Yes.
Apparently they're doing a very large sort of back-end reworking of the whole thing, because as it stands, they can't get Haley working in it.
Yeah.
Yes, so they're having to go through and do some major redesigns. We've heard things like the objective markers will be coming in. They're changing the damage screen as well, so rather than just being armor and a load of boxes, it actually has defense and armor, which is people's biggest complaint about that screen, because you go to take damage, and so it goes, oh, what's your defense? Like, it's not on this screen, let me just back it. All right, I'm defense 14. Then you have to go back into the damage screen again if you get hit. So it sounds like Tinkerhouse Games are taking a lot of feedback on board and actually kind of still improving the program based on how people are using it.
That's a hit.
Yeah, I mean, not to get sidetracked too much, War Room has vastly improved since it was released.
Agree. Yeah.
When it was released, it was an almost unusable program, and I think anyone who says otherwise is lying to themselves.
Interestingly,
I was using an iPhone at least.
Interestingly, how long do you think War Room's been out there for?
We're all getting old. I don't know. 20 years.
Is that
2 years now?
It's 3 years. It came from my time hop not so long ago. I think it was earlier in August, possibly July. And I thought it was longer than that.
I know it came up for one of the Welsh Masters where Welsh Opens where Jamie P was in charge. So yeah, 3 years sounds about right. Because originally he'd said that War Room wasn't going to be allowed, and then it was delayed, and stuff happened. But it has moved on leaps and bounds since then. In fact, since the Irish Masters last year, I have not used cards once.
Wow.
I have the folder of them. I just don't bother using them because they're a pain in the arse to move around.
I've gone the whole weekends of using a tablet to use War Room and not run out of battery at all.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's
What
much
tablets
better.
are you guys using though? Out of interest.
Android.
Okay, it's got Mike on an iPad and Matt on an Android.
And I did.
Well, the iPad Air, the iPad Air has done an entire day of tournamenting, and it took it down to 80% battery,
Nice.
and that's 3-4 games.
And then overnight, for other purposes, he burnt out that down to 0.
Now.
39%. Let's not be too adventurous.
Oh, sorry, I beg your pardon.
But yes, anyway, we best go back to Zal. Although,
yes.
An interesting discussion though that was.
I've just read his feet.
Does it say
What do you like?
That's why I went quiet for a bit.
Does it say Andy?
Oh, Toy Story. Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, bit slow there.
Only if you get his feet in the right order.
Anyway.
I misread it to begin with because it looks like a take damage and therefore armor buff everyone, but it says remove d6 plus 3 damage from each friendly faction model construct. Then I went away and went, there are no constructs in Scorn, and then went, oh no, how about all of the Ancestral Guardians and all the other models that are like them?
And also Zal himself.
And also Zara himself, they all get to remove d6 plus 3 damage, and then they all gain plus 5 armor.
Yep.
And gain boosted melee attack rolls.
Yep.
So he's basically going to have a turn where he can sit in a zone at armor 23 and go, I'm dominating this zone.
So can we
Come out,
take what his theme list is going to look like? What's going to get discounted on his theme list? Is it just going to be bonus Ancestral Guardians, or are they going to have cheaper Immortals as well?
The issue with him is people are regarding him as the definition of Scornergy, because he requires in his army a lot of living models to get their souls so he can use transference.
Yes.
Yet his feat is very good with Immortals and Constructs. So one part of him says you need to do lots of this, another part of him says you need to do lots of that.
And you also need War Beasts to get at least a little bit more reliable Fury management.
But you see, this is it. This is what one thing I thought. Is he kind of the first Warlock that you don't really need to run that many beasts with?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Because if you just run him, I mean, how many beast points is he?
6.
So a Kriya is what, 6?
5.
4?
5. Okay.
5 or 4 or 5.
So Kriya and maybe a couple of hounds.
Yeah.
Hounds, whatever they're called. And that potentially is all he needs. And the rest is just 50 points of infantry. Be it living or undead, or, people are talking a couple of units of, what are they called? Doom Reavers that aren't Doom Reavers.
Oh, Annihilators.
Annihilators. Yeah, a couple of units of Annihilators for transference.
Keltari to get there.
Yeah. Another good thing is you can take Vorkash with Cataphracts, and because you're not targeting them with transference, they can still use it.
Yeah, I was going to say, Satrati with transference, that is some silly damage you're going to be doing.
Whilst not being able to damage them in return.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see him on the table. I want to put him on the table and try him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have kind of knee-jerk to say he's no good and he's kind of not the answer that Scorn is looking for.
I think a lot
maybe
of the
he's not the Warlock that Scorn wants.
A lot of the problem with the new Warcasters that PP put out is that, other than maybe 1 or 2, they're not terribly obvious.
That's good.
They're not putting out stuff that you can instantly say, oh, well, I will take this, and this, and it'll all be great. No, you're seeing models that have...
We've all got bored of having the same clones of things again, and they do seem to have stopped that now. You don't just get a new version for a different faction, and occasionally it happens, but for the most part, they are, as you just said, they are different, challenging, and they come out and people go, "Do me 3." I'm expecting to be a quandary from the start. It's going to be do me 3 unit. What the hell is it going to be? What are you going to do with him? Oh, it's going to be crap. He's going to die in 10 seconds. Everybody said that about do me 1 for ages, and then he's winning the American massive competitions.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not saying this is going to be something that someone's going to figure out and just sweep the competitive scene with. I just think that a couple of people of people are going to figure out how to play it, and that'll be their warlock.
There might be another construct unit that comes out in the next book, for example, as well.
Yeah, or even construct war beast.
Oh yeah,
just a medium-based unit of constructs.
Yeah, mortal wounds. Yeah, it'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, immortals with wounds. No, no. They don't need more medium-based multi-wound units in Scorn. It just shouldn't happen. They've already got, what is it, 3, 4?
Yeah. 3. 4, yeah.
Just, and plus the Gators are practically in faction anyway, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a Taskmaster to, get him up to power and strength 15 or give him tough. No, not.
Yeah.
Graders.
Definitely ours.
Actually, can I sidetrack slightly? And when I was Googling stuff from Gen Con, there is what blatantly looks like a Warders UA model floating around.
Really?
I'm sure I saw something that looked like a Warder UA.
Is it the model from Undercity?
Oh, it might be. That might be what it is.
Yeah, he looks like a warder. I would wager that it's that as opposed to a warder UA, because I think if that were to happen, the internet would be exploding right about now.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like a more ornate.
What colour is it?
It was just plastic.
Do you know what colour plastic it was?
I'm looking for it now. We can come back to it in a minute. I'll look for it. So I speak from a point of view.
Did it have a shield and a double-headed axe?
I'm pretty sure it did, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the models from Undercity.
Oh, shame. I got excited.
Yeah. Undercity actually has a...
do we need a clean-up crew?
Yeah. Six.
No, Undercity actually has a fair old range of models with it that are sort of, there's the not quite Gorman in there. You've got the sort of gun mage. You've got the not quite a warder. You've got plastic Crow's Cutthroats.
They're not Crow's Cutthroats, though.
Oh, they really look like it, though.
They are based off the Crow's Cutthroats model. They are.
No, they're not based
mercenary.
They're not based off the Crow's Cutthroats models. They are the Crow's Cutthroat models. They've got the hat, the crossbow, the 2 swords, the hood, everything.
Oh, I don't think they're Crow's Cutthroats, though, are they?
No.
Jim's Cutthroats.
Yeah, possibly.
Cutthroat mercenaries, I imagine they're probably called. I don't know. Anyway.
Plastic, was it freebooters as well?
A couple of plastic jacks in there, yeah.
The plastic Bakur, it's like, really? Okay. But yeah, it's an odd selection of models in there. So, but that is Undercity, folks, which we haven't covered and probably won't until released, I don't think.
I think it's out now. I think it's out. I think it was released today. I think I'm pretty sure the
I could newsletter
came out today, saying that it's out today.
Okay, well there we go. Try Undercity today, folks. We haven't. It might be good.
Yes. A glowing.
I did watch a demo video of it. It looked fairly interesting. It's an Iron Kingdoms dungeon crawler.
Yes.
So if you like your dungeon crawlers, give it a whirl.
Hell, if you play IK RPG and you want a ton of models,
yes, that's probably a good one.
I do quite like Super Dungeon Explorer, but it looks like it looks less chibi than I'd like.
I would say it's 100% less chibi than Super Dungeon Explorer.
I like Super Dungeon.
I take it from all the sidetracking we've gone off Zal.
Yeah,
we can come back. Yeah, well, I think the jury's out. Is what I would say.
Moving on to the model for him, though, it's quite a nice model.
Yes,
I do have to say. Very kind of Egyptian sort of stuff going on there.
Persian.
Yeah.
kind of as well.
Yeah,
It's very Scorn.
Yeah.
Yes.
A mix of North African and Asian influences.
Yes.
so it's working for him. It's really working for him. So okay, well that's the ones that we have new rules for. Gen Con also saw the release of another one in the line of the beer models. With the Blind Water Brew Witch Doctor.
Yes. I like that. I do.
Which
A little bit less cheesecakey.
I will say there has been some controversy over this one.
Well, because it's not a gay team.
Oh, gamers
yeah.
are so misogynistic. It's like a girl with boobs.
Well,
Ew.
at the same point, I mean, they release very few models that are like this.
Yes.
And it's not massive amounts of cheesecake. There's a little there, admittedly, but not some massive amounts, and I just think it's fine.
Yeah.
I've also said if they wanted to do, well-muscled ones as well, who cares? I probably wouldn't buy them, but other people might really like them. And
What about a muscle-bound man in a thong with a voodoo doll? Would you buy that?
I think haven't we already discussed this?
Isn't that Amon?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess
true.
so.
It's kind of there.
Yeah.
So, I don't see any problem with it. And to be honest, the model looks quite nice. So, stabbing, what is it? A teddy? Well, it's a teddy hog.
Yeah, voodoo doll kind of thing.
Yeah.
Teddy hog voodoo doll.
Yeah. We've had also the model for Denny 3.
Yeah, she's out now, isn't she? Is she officially released, or is that just a Gen Con?
At least had a Gen Con release. That thing is big.
Yeah, boy.
Expensive as well, but big. Yeah.
Almost making me want to go back to Cricks.
Almost.
Inevitable, I feel. Inevitable.
He's got to get his money's worth out of his Scorn first, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there we go. I mean, there's not much more you can say other than it looks like a big Crixie thing with wings. I mean,
That's
what it is.
yeah, and it's kind of got. It looks like the face off one of the little Warjacks, like the Ripjaw or something like that, combined with
Scavenger.
a part of a snake and Terminus.
Yes.
So it kind of ticks all the boxes with Denny kind of leading it forwards. I'm not quite sure how forwards that model will be, but.
Well, keeping it back's not going to help it, is it? So you might as well shove it forward.
From what I hear, that seems to be her gut plan.
Well, she seems to want souls, as far as I remember.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of souls. So, any other thoughts on that model?
It's Grix.
Well, hey.
Trent
Okay.
Dennison's painting one.
Right, let's move on then.
Stop playing.
We've got the River Raiders.
River Raiders. Mercenary Minion. What? Yeah.
I'm going to say this now.
Move
Gretchen.
along. Move along.
Yeah.
They are.
Move along.
They're comedy Gretchen.
Move along.
Next up was Siphon.
Oh, yeah.
Cognifex Siphon. This is a bit of a weird one. Sort of floating scarab thing.
That's the style of them, yes.
Yeah.
I skipped that
sure what
one.
to make
I
of it.
don't understand. They all look the same.
Fair enough.
Do. I know I sound racist. That's only because I am.
Should we do another model that might tempt Matt back in the Soul Trapper?
Soul Trappers.
Definitely a few of those with Denny 3.
Yeah.
And possibly a few of the other classes as well, yeah.
Drawn to the dying. The Soul Trapper stalks. Yeah.
Yeah, they look like very nice sculpts for what they are.
They look like
perfect.
reimagined pistol wraiths to me.
Yeah, but they're a little bit more perfect for object source lighting and all that.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can see on the model someone's actually been doing a very good job of that with that green lighting.
Mm.
So, yes, that's upcoming. We have a wider release of the Extreme Feral Warp Wolf.
Yeah.
I imagine that'll be in resin.
White metal and resin.
Yeah.
So I still don't like that model.
Should possibly do something with mine at some point.
Yeah, if only you knew someone who played Circle.
I know. You sold all your Circle.
I know.
Are you buying more again?
No.
Bet you are.
Right, well, talking Circle, we do have Chromac.
Yeah, he seems to have got something in his hand.
Yes, liberally borrowed.
It looks bigger.
That's what they all
It
say.
looks pretty big.
It looks bigger. It looks enormous.
It always looks bigger in someone else's hands.
True.
But yes, we have Epic Chromac, Champion of the Worm. That actually makes it even worse after what you've just said.
Nice.
Kurt, what does the worm do?
Yeah.
Cause a lot of worm like that. Oh.
Yeah, one of my club mates has that. Has the model. It is a gorgeous piece.
It is pretty big as well, though, as a model, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, it was the 10-year Hordes box, wasn't it, with the next pair?
The twins, yes.
Hordes Unbound.
Yeah. So it's a new Chromac. It's big and chunky.
Was there no small little version of Madrak crying in the corner? That's what I was looking for.
No, you were hoping for a crying chibi Madrak, weren't you?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
That didn't happen. But what did happen was that we've now got Seren and Rias, or Rias, or whatever.
Interestingly, where in the fluff is Madrak going to be? Is he dead in a corner somewhere? Our Bradigus, not Bradigus.
Xerxes.
No, he's always running just 20 feet behind Chromac.
Keep it back! I think he's dead against a tree somewhere, mortally wounded.
Balder.
The trolls
That's
heal
what I
from
was
anything,
looking
don't they? Sorry?
Yeah. Balder, I was looking for, but Xerxes
Yeah.
would apply.
Xerxes, if they sort of come back, riding something, but trolls can heal like nothing else, can't they? So,
Well,
yeah,
he's actually been cut in half, and it's taking a very long time for there to become two of him.
I get taller through that.
Station.
Actually, if there were two Madraks, which one would be Aston?
Oh my god. Where'd that go from?
Saw that over the weekend. It's good.
Wow.
Anyway, last ones. Seren and Rias, whatever. Thoughts?
Look good. Interesting playstyle.
Quite different models.
Yeah.
Didn't expect that.
I
They
didn't
said
expect
they-
it to be Seren and Rias. I honestly thought that, well, on seeing it was Chromac, the natural thought would be that it's going to be Madrak fighting against him
Yes, actually.
for the axe, but which raises further questions that we were just asking a moment ago. Where is Madrak?
Well, it was surprising, and we'll have to wait for the book to find out.
I think in the fluff he's going to be bludgeoned half to death. I find it interesting that Rias is, what I assume is Rias, has got a sword that looks an awful lot like what's his face 3, the icy sword.
Oh, Gorshade.
Yeah, it looks a lot like Gorshade 3 sword. I mean, I know that they have the elves, so they're going to have similar swords. I don't mean it's the same one, but it looks very similar.
So you think she nicked the sword of another god, do you?
Something similar.
I don't know. These retribution gods and their weaponry coming down here, losing it all over the place.
Absolutely. What have they done for us?
Don't ask what they've done for you. Ask what you can do for them.
I can't build aqueducts, though. I tried.
You're going to start talking about splitters next?
I am. Where's Popular Front?
There we go. Okay, so that's the news kind of over and out of the way.
That does segue into Black Plague, though, if you really want to.
The Black Plague that is the ETC?
No, Black Plague that is Zombicide.
Oh, going way off topic there.
Yeah.
No, it's a Python collection because
Yes. Holy Grail.
the whole last wave of Kickstarter reveals or bonuses as they got up to their nearly 5 million that they got or something like that, was all of the Holy Grail Knights and Tim the Enchanter all got revealed as bonus Kickstarter only figures for Zombicide. That was quite cool.
Why did no one tell me this?
You didn't ask.
No.
It's not too late. You can most of them call me or not. You can jump on late on this directly on the site somewhere.
I like my bank account.
Yeah, it hurts. I'm bleeding from Kickstarter of late. I've done way too much Kickstarter, but never mind.
I would actually say if you're going for a Kickstarter at the moment, there is one by Hidden Forest. It's got 52 days to go. It's already funded, 26,000 of its $10,000 goal, and it is sets of neoprene zone markers, objectives, flags, and terrain.
Yeah, but its postage is so expensive on that. I looked at that.
How much is the postage?
$90 if you want the 10-pack set, which I was looking at.
I suppose if you're going for a club, $9 a set isn't terrible. That's only, what, an extra £4 per set?
Yep.
And how much is each set, though?
Well, if you're going for the 10 set, it's $200. So it brings up to $300. So £200 for 10 tables worth and more of terrain. And zone markers. So I think it's an interesting offer. Because you're getting, what is it, for... If you go for the full set, you're getting... This is $50. You're getting 2 12-inch circles, 2 rectangles, 12 by 6, 6 objectives, 3 flags, 4 forests, 2 trenches, 2 hills, 4 rec markers, 2 big, 2 small, 2 water, 2 wooden fence, 2 stone walls, 2 shrubberies, 2 rough terrain, and 2 houses.
And a path!
I knew I made a mistake as soon as I said shrubbery. I knew I'd made a mistake. With a heading.
If John Webb was listening, he's not listening anymore. If your boy sent him insane, start quoting fucking Holy Grail, he just runs a mile.
But yes, he did work in Games Workshop, so it's enough to...
Yes, exactly, yes.
Hey guys, I've just seen this new film. No. Stop there. Okay, so that's a Kickstarter update as well, because why not, you know? Should we move on to what could possibly be the topic of the day, which is the ETC.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Now, at this point, only half of the people on the podcast went to the ETC. One was PGing, or allegedly PGing. I didn't see him do much.
You never do you? You never do.
No, Matt's not the most active of PGs, is he?
I'm not even on the register. I'm that inactive.
Yep. In fact, I think Kurt did more for the ETC than this PG, so...
Wow, that's pretty challenging. I put my name down on the list and then took it off again. That was my involvement.
There we go. So Alex, how did you find your weekend of PGing?
What? No. It's good. Yeah, it's a good weekend. ETC always is a good weekend. Yeah, nothing. I think the community is at a stage now where it's kind of... There aren't that many rules queries anymore. It's mainly more of a case of making sure everyone is where they're supposed to be, and terrain is where it's supposed to be, and there's no objectives too close to walls and things like that.
That there is terrain. That's always a good start.
That there is terrain. That's always a good thing as well. Yeah. The clocks are working. The players know what the scenario is. It's that kind of mundane stuff that now is the remit of a press gang at these larger events.
I think DQing Nick Topham is a general requirement, though, isn't it? It's in the small print.
I tried a few times, but
you didn't need to.
No, he was doing the work for himself.
I got him DQ'd on the second from bottom table one year at the Nationals. Last game of the weekend. DQ. Nice.
Well, I know what you're thinking at this point, listener. You're thinking, Mike, how did your PGing go? Well,
Mike, how did your gaming go?
Yes, I strangely ended up playing. I came away with 3 wins and 2 losses. Although the team, although the team finished on 1 win and 4 losses.
Not so respectable.
Oh.
Yes.
Out of interest, in the 1 win, did you win that game or that round or?
Yes, I did win in that round. That was actually we won the final game. So we were on.
That was Team Roulette, wasn't it?
Yes.
Oh.
I was playing a Crix player who I believe was called Mark Draper. And it was Ashlin's feat, and he decided he wanted to try a melee assassination.
Oh, that's a bad idea.
Without knocking her down. Well, first of all, I think he was going for a ranged assassination, but he moved an arc node up to within 6 inches, and I admonitioned into melee with one of his models.
Nice.
And then he decided to try the melee assassination. So in came a Warjack loaded with 3 focus. Missed Ashlyn.
Out went a Warjack with no focus and no hits on Ashlyn.
Well,
yeah.
it came in and I chopped its arm off. So
Riposte.
yeah, he lost about 4 trolls to that as well.
I bet.
Before going, I've got nothing I can do. Fair enough.
Game over, man.
Game over.
Yeah. So I took my mercs with me, had a very good weekend. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the Northwest Gaming Centre, which I voiced my opinions on.
Yes.
I believe it needs a good deep clean. And that's the start of it. Possibly a new fire escape.
Possibly.
Definitely a new fire escape, actually. And also the tables were the wrong size.
What?
All of them. Every table was like half an inch out in one direction or other. Some were, I think, 49 inches deep.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's been like that for a while.
Half an inch, I don't think is the end of the world, but when you're sort of getting too big, that seems a bit strange, but yeah.
Well, we've already had discussions on this for National Masters, where we've said we're going through either the night before or the morning of, and literally just taping off all the tables and saying if it's too narrow, how wide it is, just on the label on the table, just so people know when they turn up, oh, right, we need to adjust by this much.
Yes.
Which is fine, but yeah. So, fun event, but Northwest Gaming Centre, I think this is now the
do better.
5th, 6th event I've had there. It needs to improve. They've definitely improved their shop. They've taken feedback on board about the food, which was massively better this year. And they've tried to provide more space by moving it downstairs as well, and that's good. But having seen Firestorm and its new location,
It's got something to aim for.
Yeah, it's got a long way to go. I mean, when you're talking about a venue,
I still haven't been there. I should need to sort that out.
Firestorm, when you're talking about a venue that is pristine in all ways.
Alex.
Sorry.
Yeah. When you're talking with Firestorm with a venue that is pristine in all ways and has just installed not only a brand new PA system, but also a series of 40-inch LCD TVs, so that rather than have something projected on the wall, they can have it beamed direct to your table. That is a commitment to improving a venue that you have to admire.
And they've also got a new hand dryer.
Wow.
Yes. They also have toilets that I'm not scared of after day one. Again, I don't think I'm saying anything revolutionary or new there. People know what the circumstances are with the NWGC, and it needs investment. I think it's got a good location because it's providing a northern location that's accessible to the Scottish players for UK National Masters and for the ETC, but it needs some TLC.
Good.
But
because Mike don't want no scrubs.
Indeed.
But this all being said, it was still a great competition. It was great to see the people there. A really friendly atmosphere all weekend. I finally got to have a second game against Gav Roth.
Ooh.
I lost again. So I'm going to have to...
What was he playing? Was it Scorn?
Yes. It got to the stage where I sent McBain in against a heavy war beast. And you'd think, PNS 15, Mat 8... he'd have a good crack at taking down something that's not got an arm buff and isn't that highly armoured already. He didn't even take out an aspect.
Ooh.
No. Yeah, that was bad. Turn one, it started by not taking out a whole unit of...
What war beast was it?
The one with the lanterns, the new one. Newish.
As a character...
Yeah.
Spoiler?
Yes. So, yes, it started turn one started with not taking out the last of the Annihilators that was knocked down and was giving souls and could be revived, and just it spiraled out of control from there. So,
Sounds fun.
Does?
yes, I did have as well a wonderful game, which was every mercenary player's dream when they're playing with McBain and Kayazi. Just in front of me, a line of ranged warjacks. Countermeasure on the Kayazi, run them all so that they lined the front of the zone.
Uh-oh.
Moved McBain up and feated on every single one of them. So the convergence players, they're going, so I can't shoot within 5 inches? No. And if I shoot from outside of 5 inches, I miss? Yes.
Yes.
And they all automatically tough for the entire turn? Yes. Oh, this is bad. And that's the point where he walked backwards to try and get them with AoEs. So it's destruction, and he's basically said, please, have the zone.
It's
So
yours.
you did.
Yes, I had the zone and one on scenario in 2 turns. It was pretty horrendous. But that is every Merc player's dream with Kayazi.
Are you sure you're not a tournament player, Mike?
I'm playing mercenaries. How serious can I be? So, no, it was good. It was good. I have actually already gone through those lists and gone, I need to change this and this and this. So, in answer to Mr. Dan Cave's question that came through on Facebook, for the moment at least, I am sticking with Ashlyn and McBain. And don't plan to move. Now, we did have another question that came in over on Reddit. And I'll read it verbatim. And it says, as a tournament winner, do you feel that team tournaments like the ETC, WTC show off more skill at the game? And that was from... he's right here.
Hi.
Oh, dear. I don't feel I need to answer that. I do have to say that I do think there should be more team tournaments.
Yeah.
Because the ETC and WTC, I'll leave us on the WTC because it's not something I'm experienced and have no plans to kind of go and have a look at. But the ETC, at least, is a very fun experience. I do wish there were more, even if not 5-man team tournaments, 3-man team tournaments through the year, because it's really a very different and much more casual environment to play in a lot of the time.
And plus, you get... It's working together with a team. You get to chat more about who's what taking and how everything works together.
Exactly.
Better community.
And yeah, I mean, and plus it enables you to have sort of 60 odd players there and not have a 5-round tournament. Because let's say you've got 60 odd players at 3 players per team. That's only 20 teams. Yeah.
Four
You can
fan
actually
run.
get that, rather than doing it as a 60-player tournament, you crush it down and play fewer rounds. So,
All good.
I think there's still 5 rounds though.
yes, there was a bit of a miscalculation on that one. Let's go with 5-man teams then for.
You mean you have to play 8 rounds or 7 rounds, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, it means you can take amounts of players and tailor the whole thing. So,
Yeah.
it's good. Although that said, there has been a discussion today actually on formats of tournaments in the UK, which might actually be worth getting 10 minutes on. I don't know. And it was the discussion that there are potentially too many masters and not enough 3-list steamroller tournaments, which I think is a very interesting statement to make.
It would definitely allow a big tournament to be on its own as a different event, rather than that Masters at the beginning of the year, that Masters in the mid-year, that Masters at the end of the year.
I mean, I think the big question that you have to ask as you go into this one is, does being a Masters bring a certain level of cachet to your tournament without doing anything else? And
Yes.
I do think it's pretty inevitable. You do have to say, yes, it does bring something to it. Rightly or wrongly, whatever your decision is on that one. But it does mean that events like Vupnartak, Blood and Oil, Welsh Masters, UK Games and Expo Masters, the UK National Masters, they all kind of get mentioned in a different conversation to a steamroller. Which, if you're doing 3 lists, unless you've talked to PP beforehand, it's going to be a steamroller. And a lot of this discussion in that thread, there seem to be sort of 2 sides of it. You've got the players, who certainly from the proponents was very much, we want to see 3 lists. We think the game is balanced at 3 lists. Why is there no provision for this? And then on the other side, you have a selection of TOs, like myself, John Webb, Ross, Neil MacArthur, Aaron Wilson as well, basically saying, we've tried to run alternate formats. No one's signing up for them.
Yeah.
We've tried running hardcore, we've tried running Commander's Crucible, we've tried running another steamroller at a larger size. We're getting 5-6 signups. We run something that's 2-list Death Clock with ADR, suddenly 16-20 signups and a waiting list.
I will admit that I'm guilty of that sort of thing myself.
Yeah.
I will make sure that I can get to the Masters tournaments, and I will practice for those events. Whereas anything else I'm trying to get to, but I generally can't.
That's the key word you've said there, Matt. It's practice. A lot of people will only go to those, not Masters, but with the Masters format tournaments, because they want to see how their lists do at a Masters.
But also, I think the 3 list, while 3 list is more balanced because of counters, because of different faction interaction, 3 list is more balanced. There is a significant greater investment in running 3 lists regularly, practicing them, knowing them is exponentially more work than 2 lists. It's not half as much work again, it's more than that to run 3 lists and know them well. When we were running 3 lists, when it was a 3-list Masters, you had 2 lists that you knew well, and you had another one that you chucked in, for most, except for the very top players.
Well, actually, I think that was a product of the environment we had at the time. Because if you go back, let's say 2-3 years at this point,
okay,
you're looking at a War Machine environment that was very heavy on 16-player, 50-point steamrollers every weekend around the country.
Totally.
And then a couple of big Masters events a year that were 3-list.
Yes.
So there were actually, at that point, as I recall, complaints about the third list because people went, well, I have 2 lists of the Steamroller. I have no idea what my third list is.
Yeah.
I don't play it often enough. And we've now gone
Now
to...
we've got the same thing, but for the opposite reason.
Yeah.
And
And
lots of masters, but now that masters is 2 lists, there's lots of those to do, lots of those to play in.
I mean, there is ADR, which was meant to be the balancing factor between
I've still never played
losing
that.
a list and what you have in Steamroller, which it's an interesting question as to whether that does balance out, because obviously ADR is either new casters or ones that aren't being seen as often.
I've still never played an ADR.
It's a wonderful idea, and it does help somewhat, but it helps the person who either knows that caster very, very well or has the opportunity to practice for that for those specific tournaments.
Okay.
It's that one person who's spotted something with that cast. It's like, I can mess around with this a bit and do something a bit special with this list.
Yeah, like the first season of ADR in Crix, I had Gatsby 3. I was
Right.
all in there.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting place to be in. I mean, I think personally, and this was originally why I set up Midland Steamroller, I would actually like to go back to that world of having 16-player, 50-point Steamrollers accessible every single week. And I do think at that point, the call to extend Masters to 3 lists to give it some differentiation does actually have a point, because 2-list ADR is not that much different from 2-list, especially if you're only applying it to, 5 casters a faction?
4 or 5, yeah.
Yeah, something in that area. Depends on what's new and what's in the list and
Absolutely.
all sorts of stuff. So, I mean, I suppose anything in this sort of region, it's very rarely completely unreasonable because it's people's feelings on playing the game.
Mm.
I suppose it mostly comes down to tournament organisers put on the tournaments they want to, but players just support everything you can as much as you personally want to.
Mm. Well, I've said, and I said this in the Facebook conversation that happened with us. By the way, anyone who listens to this who is not on the UK War Machine Hordes Facebook group, it's a really good place to discuss this kind of stuff and everything else. I said on there, TOs are genuinely getting pretty frustrated because when we're putting on these events, not only is no one signing up, but if they do sign up, it's all quite late. And we have to make decisions fairly early on about whether we're still running an event or whether we're going to be able to use that venue. Because for us, if you're looking at hiring a hall for 120 quid, and you have 5 players who are paying £10 each.
Wait, let me get a calculator. Wait.
Yeah. There's a bit
Carry
of
the one, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, damn. I knew to say wrong.
So, and much as I would love to run all of these events as a sort of a big charity thing, it's just not possible. I mean, as John Webb will attest to, because I showed him the spreadsheet, there's an awful lot of maths that went into running Midland Steamroller and making sure that it was the minimum cost I could give to players, but still pay the bills for all the venues and have the final free if I could do it. Now, obviously, the last year, it ended up being £2 to play in the final, which wasn't terrible, but it was more than what I wanted.
A wage of £2 more than you wanted.
Well, yes, exactly. And the other thing is as well, coming from Games Expo, where we're dealing with a third party there, if people aren't booking into tournaments after 2 weeks...
Yeah, they cancel them, don't they?
Yes, they say, right, there's no sign-ups for this, so we're dropping it. And you are suddenly left with the position of having advertised an event and having to say, well, sorry, not only are there no tickets, but that means that if it was something that qualified for a final, we need to rejig that as well. And that did lead to a whole very stressful period organising the Games Expo Masters last year, well, this year, in fact, of just making sure that we've got all bases covered. So yeah, it's a whole two-way street. I mean, TOs, yes, we have to be mindful of what people are saying and what they want to play. Players, if you see something you want to play in and you're free, make your feelings known as early as possible and get booked in and paid up. And that way we can all be happy.
Everyone work together.
Yes. I would also say, if you're still not seeing what you want run, either find a local PG or ask your club if you can run the event. Because that is the best way of making sure that there are events of the caliber you want to see. I seem to have killed the conversation.
No, it was
a succinct point.
Got no response to that. That wouldn't sound crass or wrong.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole reason Midland Steamroller was set up. John Webb set up London Steamroller, and I thought, great, someone will set that up in the Midlands. And I waited and waited, and it didn't happen. And eventually I went, well, guess I'll do it. And that's how we got 3 years of Midland Steamroller. I am assured it's coming back next year.
Woohoo!
But yes, running, what was it? 8, 11, 14 tournaments over 3 years. Yes, that was not
Not to be sniffed at.
Yes.
No.
So yes, that was an important message on tournaments and stuff, and I feel we've been far too serious.
Yes, we probably
Great chat about the ETC, guys.
It was very good, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we have had a chat about the ETC, which was lovely.
Yep.
I think we're all
short-lived, I feel.
Well, I think that the whole thing is that there wasn't kind of much to say. It's like, I went to a tournament, it was lovely. Yay.
And you didn't want to overload us with reports.
Yes,
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yes, if anyone does want to go back and listen to episode 8, which is the last podcast on which a battle report was allowed, then feel free to know my pain, because battle reports are the great evil that drive me crazy.
The evil of podcasting worldwide.
Yes.
Unless that's the aim of your podcast.
The next turn, I moved my model 3 inches.
The next turn, I took both the dice and shoved them up his nostrils so hard they flew at his ears.
And then I rolled a 3.
Oh, and then he rolled a tough check and got a 1.
Anyway, enough mockery of people.
Thought we were throwing a bit of Red Dwarf in there as well myself, but just me.
To be fair, I had already done that.
You did.
Yes. Quite, indeed. Right, well, with that being said, I think we're probably safe to go for a break.
Yes.
So, we'll see you all on the other side. There we go. If anyone wants their comfort break.
Yeah, I think I need one.
I think I need to get a charger for my laptop, actually.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah, I learned early on that when doing this, you need to have your phone plugged in if you're using a phone.
Oh, I'm using a full-on proper PC.
Oh, you heathen, you.
Well, and again, if you can see the setup as well, I've got my studio headphones on. I've got my boom arm for the microphone.
Do you mean your lamp mount?
No, it actually, well, it is. It could be used for a lamp, but it is sold as a microphone stand. I also have the guard for the microphone.
Nice.
Yeah.
Feedback filter. Oh no, wait a minute. That's never a thing.
No. It's
It's a spit guard, isn't it?
no. It's called something else. Pop shield. That's it.
Vomit protector.
I've seen lots of pop videos filmed with one of those in them. Whose phone is that?
It's not a phone. He's opening the box to a board game repeatedly.
Oh, yes, I know what it is.
It's not a board game, there's no board.
It's a card game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Exploding Kittens or something like that, is it?
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I'm sure it is. If you could start doing that, that'd be incredible.
And it's evil. It's an awesome game. I can't recommend it enough.
Thanks.
You're welcome. The most successful Kickstarter ever.
Allegedly.
Not allegedly, nothing.
How much did it get in the end?
Nearly 9 million.
9 million.
From wanting 10 grand, I think it was, sort of 15 grand started. It's quite a... And because the unit cost was low, it's the highest number of subscribers as well. Investors.
I guess there wasn't that many stretch goals either.
No, there weren't very many now. There were a few, but they were all long gone.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, with a card game, there's not that much you can do other than kind of, oh, we'll release a new expansion.
Posh box, extra, increase the card stock. The box is lovely, and then the surprise, which you've already heard, was they threw that in after the fact. We put a surprise on the box. You'll find out when you open it.
Wasn't the Not Safe for Work edition also one of the stretch goals?
No, it wasn't a stretch goal. It was a stretch goal. Opened it up to buy it, so it was like $15 for the NSFW. So I got that as well.
What's not safe for work about it?
It's less appropriate. So instead of just having, okay, so I'll give you an example from looking at maybe we should do this from talking about in the podcast. Yep. Instead of having kind of a catamelon for one of the cats and what's another one? That's a normal cat. A beard cat. You have things like bikini cat, which is pretty gross.
Oh.
You have all of them are a bit more gross. So there's zombie cat. You've got cat's Schrodinger. So it's got a cat with Schrodinger in the box. It's great. I've had to explain about Schrodinger's cat twice now. Shy bladder cat. Stop staring! I can't go when you're staring.
Should we wait for this? Should we wait for this explanation until you do it in?
Yeah, I've stopped now.
Holly. Are we going to do spelling it out?
Yeah.
What are we going to do? We practically with the Unzal.
Nat, make a choice.
Oh, hang on, we never do cricks, do we? We hate cricks.
Yes.
Okay.
Matt, choose a crickscaster. Do a crickscaster. We can tell you how shit it is.
Well,
there's an outtake for you right there.
What do you want? Like Gatsby 3, Montenegro,
Denny 2 or something really horrible. Yeah.
We wouldn't have actually choose
Gatsby 3. Hang on, no,
Gatsby 3's good. Gatsby 3's good.
Gatsby 3 was your signature thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the one with Vociferon, isn't it?
It is.
Alex, you have to practice your, well, at least it's not Signar line, I think.
What?
Well, this is not Signar.
This is not Signar?
This is not Signar. I mean, it's horrible, but, you know, it's not Signar.
So,
Mr.
Alex,
Dean can get very upset.
Alex, do you want to bring us back?
Oh, I'd love to bring us back.
To the 70s.
From the dead.
Now.
Just go warm up.
Okay.
He's interrupting himself now. Oh, he's doing his preparations now. He's doing his preparations. Stand back. Get a tissue or actually a tea towel.
Done. Right. Ready to go.
We'll go.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. See,
Matt, all this editing solves everything because we're not.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be edited. I'm positive. Just edit it out. We'll sort it.
Get it in post.
Get it in post.
The special effects in post as well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Welcome back. Elite Cadre. I'm Alex.
Where have you been?
I'm not sure how I cope personally, but
Okay.
Right, we're going to do spelling it out, and this time because we've got a super special Cricks playing guest on the line, we're going to do a super special Cricks Warcaster.
We did promise him we wouldn't slag off Cricks, but that might have been a lie.
That might be a lie.
I only came on here because you promised.
There was no lie in it. It was just a
You only came on
non-truth.
it. You only came on it because we were desperate because Alex we thought he died or something. I don't know what happened.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Warcaster that we are going to choose, we're all sitting there with bated breath, is Asphyxius the Hellbringer. And for those of you who don't go by the fluff name, that's Asphyxius 3. Or Asphyxius and
Gaspy, throw that in as well.
Gaspy 3, yeah.
Yeah.
Vociferon?
Yes, that'll do.
That'll do, right. Okay. So, to throw it out there first of all, he is Focus 7. He also has soul abilities, Cull Soul, so you can gain extra focus from that. Well, he gains souls that turn into focus. And
he would, wouldn't he?
He would, yes. Vociferon as well. You can take souls off Vociferon, who has the same rule, and again they turn into focus. Is that correct?
That is correct. Within 9 inches of Vociferon, if an enemy model dies, he gets the soul.
Okay.
9 or 8 inches, yeah.
And Vociferon can also allocate focus to Warjacks. And yeah, that's pretty much what Vociferon does.
And there's also an arc node.
He's also an arc node.
Yes.
Yeah, first, folks.
Just as a special bonus.
Absolutely.
So, should we start with the spells?
It's called spelling it out.
Yeah, it's called spelling it out.
Mm.
First spell, Ashen Veil. Cost 2, range 6, no AoE, no power. Is an upkeepable, non-offensive spell. Target friendly model stroke unit gains concealment. Living enemy models suffer -2 to attack rolls while within 2 inches of an affected model.
Apply to Statixis, win?
Most of the time, yes.
It does sound familiar. It does sound like we're starting down the line of Crick stealing other people's spells right from the get-go.
I don't know what. Yeah. If they're not using them, we will.
I think they were being used, but never mind.
I suppose it could also be pretty nifty for, although less useful on Bane Knights.
Bane Knights, the Guard to Defense 14, it's also seen on Soul Hunters a little bit.
Yeah.
And if you want to get a little bit strange, maybe the Nis Hunters to get them up to Def 17.
Ooh, yeah, of course.
Ooh.
Best range unit in Cricks.
Best range unit in Trolls as well.
To steal a boosted damage reference from God knows how many years ago.
Mm.
Yep.
12, I think. 12.
Yes, very solid support spell.
Yep. Had great fun with Statistic Raiders, and once or twice playing against Retribution, it really messed them up because the Mage Hunter, when they're nearby, they still suffer that -2 to attack rolls.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. So, shall we move on to the next spell?
Yep.
Bone Shaker. The spell that Caliban wishes... Oh, no, wait, he does have it. Never mind.
Nice.
So it's a cost 2, range 8, no AoE, power 12, non-upkeepable offensive spell. When this spell boxes a living or undead non-warcaster, non-warlock enemy warrior model You can immediately make a full advance with the enemy model, followed by a normal attack, and the box model is removed from play. The box model cannot be targeted by free strikes during this movement. And is that one that Caliban has?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. He's just got no art nodes. Obviously, art nodes make that more of a thing.
And Ragman also has it as well.
Ah, yes, it does.
Yep.
I'm quite glad that none of us did the John Christensen thing then. I'm quite glad that none of us did that. That's good. Shouting Ragman in a stupid voice. I'm not going to go for that.
Fair enough.
No,
You don't have to drink.
That's different.
Bone Shaker, for after the feat turn, which we'll get to a second, I imagine, it's a lovely nuke just to be able to clear a few bits of inventory, or even go for that spell assassination when you've got a ton of focus on you.
It does just look like a good utility nuke, especially for someone who's got an arc node.
Absolutely.
And for 2, it's not terrible.
Not at all, and power 12 as well.
Yeah.
It's
Power
What's
12 kill casters.
Absolutely.
It's a not so shitty nuke.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just because it's quicks.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm.
Cricks OP. A lot like zebras.
A lot like zebras.
Do you want to get the next one, Alex?
Why not? Carnage is a cost 3 range self.
Whoa. I haven't got the card in front of me. I didn't know the Carnage.
Well, he does.
That was incidental.
Cost 3 range self. AoE control. 0 power. Well, no power. Non-upkeepable, non-offensive spell. Friendly faction models gain +2 to melee attack rolls against enemy models in this model's control area. Carnage lasts for 1 turn.
But you don't have Carnage written in permanent marker on the spell card, do you? Just to remind you to use it.
No, you will be right there, yes. Because I did use it most turns. Yeah, this is where he starts to make the money. Just getting that hit buff. You don't need Tartarus for the Bane Knights. You don't. Statistics Raiders don't need to do the combined melee attack to hit those high defense stuff. It clears a lot of options out.
It's got really good range with it as well.
Yeah.
His massive control area makes that so much better than other models that have Carnage.
It's worse than Dark Guidance, but there's also the fact that he doesn't actually need to use those 3 points of focus to cast it, because we skipped over Blood Boon, which is one of his abilities.
Oh, okay.
If he kills a living enemy model, then he gets to cast a
That's
cost
another
3 spell
ability
on it.
that Caliban wishes he had. Oh no, wait.
So yeah, charge Gatsby up, camp all your focus, but still get Carnage out, and help the rest of your force kill everything else. It's wonderful.
Okay.
Sounds exciting. Honestly, it does.
Yes.
Should we move on to the next one?
Yes.
Hexblast. Cost 3, range 10, AoE 3, power 13, non-upkeepable offensive spell. Enemy upkeep spells and animi on the model stroke unit directly hit by Hexblast immediately expire.
That's quite nice.
It really is, yeah.
It's also good at clearing animi, upkeep spells off your own stuff as well. It isn't always kind of immediately obvious when you first read the spell. So if you're playing in the mirror match and you've got, well, not obviously the direct mirror match with caster, but cricks on cricks and parasite or something like that is on one of your units, use that to get rid of it. You're going to probably sacrifice a model from the unit to get rid of it, but
your cricks, what do you care?
Yeah.
My
thoughts exactly.
Hexblast again is coming in under that cost 3 mark, and I said about the Bone Shaker being used for assassination runs. I've charged up, got Blood Boon off, Hexblast the enemy caster, and those buff spells that we thought made them safe are no longer there. And again, I haven't spent any focus to cast it.
That's the thing.
Or you want to kill that heavy, that unit, and that spell's just really, really annoying. hang back, use Vociferon, and the enemy upkeep spell or Animai's gone. It's a nice little toolbox spell.
Yep, absolutely. If you really want Iron Flesh gone off that enemy unit, boost a hit and it's gone.
Hopefully.
Yeah, that's a taller ask, but yeah.
Yeah. He's Magic 7, he's not 9.
3 dice to hit.
But you want to get rid of armor buffs. If you want to get rid of armor buffs, it's very good.
Yeah.
Yep. Sod you, Stormwall.
Yeah, to be fair, Cricks rarely have a problem with armor.
It's because of spells like this that they don't have a problem with armor. That's why
add one later on.
Yeah.
Has he got that one as well, has he?
Oh,
well,
yeah, he's got something else. Yeah.
Let's keep moving.
Okay. So next spell is mobility. It's cost 2, range self, AoE control, no power, no upkeepable, non-offensive spell. Models in this model's battle group currently in its control area gain +2 speed and Pathfinder for 1 turn.
Nice.
Because Crick Jacks weren't fast enough
They're
already.
so slow. Speed 4, most of them, aren't they, I believe? Yeah.
Yes, honest. Yeah.
Yeah, and it actually makes him speed 8 with Pathfinder and reach. Yeah, which when he's got a POW 16 melee weapon.
Yeah.
It's not like he's got any abilities on his weapon as well once he kills a model.
Yeah, not Bloodburn or anything.
No, wait.
No, wait.
Yeah, it's especially nice when you're playing against that unknowledgeable P. Haley person who, oh dear, P. Haley's just ended within 10 inches of me. I'll still be able to.
Now, Matt, now you're appealing to my better nature. I can, despite being Cricks, that I can get behind.
Good stuff. Find the common ground.
Oh yeah, beat up Signar all the way.
But you won't, Signar.
Don't play him though, when they betrayed the trolls. Look, this fluff is everything, especially in this context.
Okay, I'll believe you thousands wouldn't.
Yes, absolutely. Do it, Signar. Shh.
Yep, mobility, just good. Just plain good.
Absolutely. Play it with a couple of the character jacks. Pretty much most of the common scene ones, so Death Jack, Nightmare, even Erebus, and you're going to be getting some use out of that spell generally.
Yeah, it's good as well to bring out, if your opponent might not be expecting it, to get a Warjack to charge over a wall. Thinks he's safe behind a wall. You've got that in your pocket that you can use to make him not safe behind a wall.
Well, I think the Seether's got Pathfinder. Are you generally lacking Pathfinder in Quick Jacks, am I right?
Seether doesn't. The Crabjacks do have Pathfinder, but they're speed 5.
Oh, okay.
Rather than speed 6, like most others.
So it's generally advantage all round.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Should we move on to his final spell?
Go on then.
1 moment. So Scything Touch. So cost 2, range 6. No AoE, no power, upkeepable, non-offensive spell. Target friendly model stroke unit gains +2 to melee attack damage rolls. Affected models gain critical corrosion on their normal melee attacks.
Has he got no unique spells?
Yeah, that is correct.
Wow.
Maybe he did when he was released.
No, not even.
They're all really old. All of them are old.
Yeah.
They're all old. They're all they're almost half trolls, half men off, and a few mobility's sick now, I think of, but mobility's around all over the place, isn't it? But wow.
That was on Ramon as well, mobility.
It was, you're right. Yeah. So a lot of men off and a bit of trolls, yeah. Wow.
But going back to Siren Touch, get things to hit with Carnage and allow them to do the damage, extra damage with Scything Touch. The critical corrosion is something that I usually forget about. But
who cares? Is the model still there at the end?
Probably not.
No.
So what would your target for Scything Touch be? Are you thinking Bane Thralls to get the bonus from Dark Shroud as well as Scything Touch, or?
Generally, for me, it was the Statistics Blood Witches, or later on the mechanic bottles that have been filled up with the Statistics Blood Witches bodies.
Okay.
But any melee unit can make good use of that. and do a ton of damage. The only slight downside is that Luciferon, though he's a character Scarlock, can't cast it for free. So
No.
it's always a focus birding on Gatsby himself.
Yeah.
Unless obviously he does it through Blood Boon.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm just going to say, looking at the spell list, there is not one spell on here that you'd say, oh yeah, you'll never cast that.
Yeah.
They are all useful.
Whereas a
All
certain
killer,
other
no.
Warlock or Warcaster we were talking about tonight, there are maybe one or two on his spell list that you would say that about.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's all killer, no filler, isn't he?
Yep.
Pretty much.
Do you want to go
Quite
through the feat now, Alex?
Why the devil not? It is, after all, spelling it out. Feet. Right, Shadow. When the time is right. Asphyxious behind
Nice.
Skip to the end.
Okay. When an enemy
For a
model
while.
when an enemy model is forced, cast a spell, and/or spends one or more focus or fury points while in Asphyxious' control area, Asphyxious heals D3 damage points and gains 1 soul token. Rites of Shadow lasts for 1 round.
Oh.
So,
It's,
hang on, before you start, Matt,
yeah.
when this first came out, a lot of people went, oh, this isn't very useful because people just won't do it. Now,
Yeah.
I'm going to hand you over to Matt, and he's going to tell you why they were wrong.
Most of the time, I used Asphyxious 3 against Horde's casters, and generally speaking, they're having 2 heavies, 2 lights, maybe even more if they're, say, like Legion, which Crix has often had a problem with. And at the end of a turn, I can be at 20 focus. 20 focus is about the average. I've been up to about 30 focus before. They either don't do anything with the beasts, where hey, your force is still alive, or they try and kill as much as you can, and then Gatsby goes on a killing spree.
And this is why we don't trust Crix players.
My feat does nothing. It's fine. Just do whatever you like. Oh dear, you're dead.
It's a totally passive feat. I mean, all I do is heal a bit from it and gain a focus. I mean, what could be wrong with that?
Yep.
Yeah. I've seen this used too many times. It's good, especially if you pick your matchup right. I have a feeling that if you see Epic Zakova on the other side of the table, you'll just go, yep, that's Gatsby 3.
Yep. Even against the War Machine side of things, it's a free cast of getting Siding Touch back out there into the right place at the right time. That's nothing to be sneezed at. It's not a powerful feat at that point, but it's still helpful.
Yeah. So I think overall, we can say that Gatsby 3 may have been underestimated at the point where he was released.
Definitely. He came out, people did talk about the synergies of Ashen Vale with Cities Raiders, but we didn't really chat about anything else. And myself, I used him solidly for 2 years, still my favourite caster. A few of the other casters, big name players, they're starting to get on with him and having great fun and using him well.
Yeah. I think just looking at him, he offers a lot of flexibility, answers for a lot of different things, and has the potential for a bonkers post-feat turn.
Yes. Yeah, I've killed 2 War Beasts and then camped at Armor 25 going, what else you got?
Well, it's just that point where you can start your feet and go, right, I've got 30 focus, so I'll cast mobility, and then I'll charge this War Beast over here, beat it to death, and then the unit in front of me, I'll just bone shaker the whole thing.
Yes.
It's like, shall I boost this one? Nah, I'll just roll the dice.
I've got focus to spare.
Yeah. Absolutely bonkers. So there is Gatsby 3, in a nutshell.
What a charmer.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Lovely young man.
Mm.
Right. Well, that being done, It's time for the hobby section of the podcast.
Mm.
Oh, don't sound so excited.
Yay.
Should we let our guest go first?
Oh, go on then.
Okay.
So, Matt, what have you done sort of hobby-wise?
Well, just before it started here, I was about to put some varnish on my Annihilators. They're finished painting. They've been partly painted for 6 months now.
And
Finally
what
finished
colour
them off.
are they, then, Matt?
Yes, they are pink.
Interesting choice.
I'm aghast.
No, but my first school model was the Extreme Titan Gladiator I got from a breast cancer ball auction. Spent far too much on it, but supported a charity and decided to keep with the pink theme.
Nice.
Cool.
And the only other army I've painted, the only fully painted army I've ever fielded was a pink army for a breast cancer brawl, way back in Mark 1.
No,
It's a good while ago now.
yep.
It is a little while ago.
Okay.
But other than that, I'll move on to the Cyclops Shaman and just keep moving through the models. Oh,
Cool.
I better do Tiberian at some point because that's what the Extreme Gladiator has turned into. So get him.
Yes, you do have a particularly nice looking Tibbers.
Matron.
Dear me. Okay, so played any other games recently, or had any good games of War Machine you want to talk about?
No, just been mostly playing Xerxes 2 because he is on the current ADR list, and as I say, I do like to practice for Masters tournaments. I haven't worked out quite how I want to use him yet, but I keep going for it. So,
Are you practicing up for National Masters?
yeah, I'll definitely be there.
Cool.
And, I'll keep the other customer a secret for the moment, but I'm not going to be much of a threat to big names out there.
Well, that's what they think.
Yeah, we'll see.
For now. Okay, cool. Kurt,
Hello.
what have you been doing hobby-wise?
Not an awful lot of painting.
Subtle.
I still have Super Dungeon Explore stuff on my table and Armada ships to drift on and off.
Armada?
Armada. Star Wars Armada.
Armada?
I think since the last podcast I might have had 2 games of Armada. Still loving it. Just haven't had a chance. Been away on holiday, family holiday stuff. So less hobbying in general. I did have one thing arrive in the post though, which you may have heard in the background. There you go. It's a bit hit and miss the box. I did finally receive my Exploding Kittens Kickstarter box. I did play quite an excessive amount of alcohol-fueled games of it over the weekend, and it's absolutely amazing. There you are.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
We do have a copy of that in the house somewhere. Not mine, but it is here.
It's very good. Drunken evenings of Exploding Kittens are to be highly
Encouraged?
encouraged is exactly the right word. It's awesome. It's your first game you play of it, you go, oh, it's fun, but you get to the very end, you go, oh, and the second game changes entirely. It just gets so evil so fast. It's very
So
good.
give us a brief, obviously the name kind of gives it away to a degree, but what does the game involve?
It's essentially Russian roulette. You have a stack of cards in the middle. There are several, one less than the number of players, cards in that deck of cards, custom, not standard playing cards, custom for the game, obviously, that have exploding kittens on them. If you draw an exploding kitten, you die, unless you have a diffuse card or a way of avoiding drawing that card in the first place. So you start off with a hand of 5 cards, 4 are random, and you get 1 diffuse at the start. So you get kind of 1 free card, kind of. But the other cards are ways to steal cards from your opponents, skip turns, make your opponents draw more cards than they would like to, or shuffle the deck and things like that as well. So you can generally throw the odds. You can look into the future and look at the next 3 cards, and everybody staring at you trying to read your faces what you've seen when you flip those 3 cards over and look at them quietly in the corner. and that's just to be half the game. It's pretending there's a kitten there when there's not one, and pretending there's not one there when there is one there. It's great.
So it sounds simple, but
yeah,
play.
On the front of the box, 2 minutes to learn, 15 minutes to play, and it just gets And I bought the NSFW, the Not Safe for Work bonus pack as well, which goes from, instead of having kittens that are just looking like melons and being being bearded and things like that as well, they go to bikini cats and Cat's Schrodinger. So basically, instead of the Schrodinger putting the cat in the box, the cat is putting Schrodinger in a box. And also the shy bladder cat, who's basically on the card saying, "Stop staring! I can't go when you're staring."
One thing is not Cards Against Humanity, though, is it? It's not quite Cards Against Humanity NSFW.
No, it's not. No, it is humorously inappropriate and a bit ew, but it's not. No, it's not fucking a Hitler with a spatula. No.
I think that might be getting edited.
Wow, that's.
Well, I know I shoot from the hip, but that is the first thing that came to mind with Cards Against Humanity.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah, and I also have this week bought expansions for Cards Against Humanity because I think that might have to be played some more as well, because that's an awesome game as well. But it's, again, alcohol-fueled Cards Against Humanity. You're on the floor crying, really, aren't you? It's just so wrong.
It is pretty wrong.
Yeah.
It's very, very wrong. Yeah, I did acquire I think I now own almost all of Super Dungeon Explorer now. I did acquire the original starter box, so I've got tons of that options. Now we're getting into the autumn in a not too distant future. Be lots more of that played, I think, as well. But no, more Armada. I need to play more Armada. And maybe even War Machine eventually at some point.
Are you going to be painting the little squadron ships on Armada?
Have done. Yeah, they're on my Twitter. Have done, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I already I painted some fairly quickly, some sort of red X-Wings, and then I got obsessed with Y-Wings. Basically because some people were daring me to put more detail on it on Twitter, Mr. Chomic.
Hello?
It was just, yeah, I believe you were involved. And it was just like, yeah, but you haven't got the triangles on the front. Oh, fine. Right, I'll put the fucking triangles on. Yeah, I've got a couple of A-Wings that are little blue test pilot ones that look really good with the triangles on the front and everything. So
cool.
Yeah, and I really have a big thing for Y-Wings as well. They're so good. Little tanks. It's a good game.
Not really played too much with the alternate fighters yet.
I have gone back to X-Wings to an extent because they're kind of the catch-all. They do a bit of everything. But for a few points less, you get an extra wound or two, and they just get the Y-Wings just don't die. And they're not quite as useful as X-Wings, but they just don't die. We've also got to the point of playing with no fighters as well. That's quite entertaining. You start playing that gambit, and do you need fighters? Do you not? What? It's interesting. It's a good game. Wave 2 is this end of the month, isn't it? So, as and when it arrives, but September. Looking forward to that as well. And looking forward to the Glacier King. I might even get you back into playing War Machine.
I think we need to move on from you now before you start extolling the virtues of Armada even more.
I went back to War Machine. What do you want?
Okay. So, Alex.
So, Mike.
What have you been doing hobby-wise?
What have you been scratching at while we've been recording the whole fucking time?
That's a good question.
Aside from my ball sack?
Aside from your cactus, yes.
Oh, yes. Some plastic models.
That's very descriptive there.
Trolls?
Not trolls.
Undercity?
Not Undercity.
What is that?
Well, this is riveting.
What's that Japanese game he likes to play that's made of metal models that may come out in plastic?
Bushido.
That's the one.
No, not Bushido.
Don't know, Alex. Do tell us.
Those astute followers of Twitter will perhaps be aware.
Have you bought Malifaux?
No.
Maybe.
Oh.
I've kind of been dragged kicking and screaming into Malifaux.
There we go.
Oh dear. I'm sorry.
That's the only way to join, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is.
That said, though, some of the models are nice.
They've always have been. They always
Yeah.
have been lovely.
So the way I kind of see it is try and maybe get some painted. Yeah, right. And if the game does turn out to be tossed, then no harm, no foul. I've spent significantly more money on games that have not panned out. So yeah, kind of see how it goes, and I'm not setting my bar of expectation too high, but I'm ready to be happily
Amused?
surprised. Yeah. Just going to see how it goes, really. Have you played Malifaux, Mike? Have you?
Yes, I've played Mark 1 and Mark 2.
Yeah.
Or M1E and M2E, rather.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the game? Have you got any thoughts on the game?
I think it's a brilliant combat system for an RPG.
Yes, you have said this to me before, I think.
Yeah, I think it's got some fantastic models, some great background.
Yep.
It's a great setting for an RPG, a great combat system for an RPG, but they made it as a tabletop game, and I'm not sure that that's entirely for me. There's a lot of people who really love the way that it's set up, but it just doesn't really appeal to me with how it's structured at the moment. I would love it to, because some of those models, stuff like Kairis, Rasputina, I love the background to them. I love the sort of the models that they've done for them. But yeah, it just needs something. I'm not sure what it is.
What's that?
To not have Nick playing Seamus. I had to say it. He had a literally unkillable thing heading his crew that if he got near any of my models, only had to draw one of, I think, 2 cards and just killed whatever it was with no save or anything for me. That was it. Like, have you got 2 soul stones you can get rid of? No. Okay, you lose. Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Is this a similar play experience to Infinity?
No.
Have you had one bad experience and then said, no, not for me?
No. It's far less hardcore than Infinity. Far less hardcore.
Infinity's terrifying.
Yeah, Infinity, you can just walk something out, a millimeter out of cover. Okay, I lose the game. Malifaux takes silly mechanics that can, quote unquote, just kill things and applies them to a skirmish game at times, particularly on leader models for crews.
Yeah, it does seem like a lot of the masters are pretty OP.
Intentionally so, because they're meant to be the focus of your crew. So
it feels strange to be talking about OP leader models coming from War Machine.
Which, again, that's a complaint some people have made about War Machine.
Yep.
You do have this central piece that is obviously much more powerful than everything else. But then at the same time, you really have to be careful with that model.
Yeah, because am I correct in thinking the game doesn't end if your master dies?
No, it doesn't. You can actually have every single model on your team killed
And still win the game.
and still win.
Okay.
You can have every single model on your team killed, not kill any of the enemy models, have them complete one of their objectives, and you still win. Because there are certain objectives that require things like.
I find that quite massively disengaging right now.
Well, it's the whole thing of you flip cards to see what missions you've got at the start of the game. What schemes and
Strategies.
And one of yours might well be to frame someone on the other side for murder. So you pick that model and one of yours, and if you can get that model to kill the one of yours, you get victory points. some of the schemes are open, some are written down and hidden. It very much depends. It's actually a very interesting system, and almost partially why it would function as an RPG more, or I don't know, something more Mordheim-y, if that's a word.
Yeah, well, I think the newest book they've released is a campaign book.
Yeah.
And they have done an RPG version.
The RPG version is very weird, though, because as far as I'm aware, you can actually get a whole thing done and have a character unable to be upgraded anymore after, I think, 4 or 5 sessions.
Yeah, it does seem to be more telling one tale about a single character rather than your character being involved in a host of tales.
Yeah, yeah. Which, again, I think is potentially a shame. I would actually be tempted to take something like the Iron Kingdoms RPG system or, I don't know, Pathfinder or something and apply that to the Malifaux universe. But anyway, that's going massively out of bounds. That's a whole other thing. Yeah, Malifaux.
Who's emptying their kitchen out?
Me.
There we go.
Yeah, you, sir.
I'll tell you one thing.
You who's been sharpening things and scraping things all the way through.
One thing I have been playing recently is Guild Ball.
Okay. How are you finding that?
Very good fun. It's got the Malifaux and Infinity of one model moves, then a Predator one model moves, but yeah, you get a whole set of strategy and plus playing football. So yeah, hey.
That's not a plus for me.
Hey, Kurt.
That's not a plus for me.
No,
I raised that with Mr. Hart very early in the whole development cycle.
I am not a football fan, but playing it is still fun, and playing Guild Ball is a lot of fun as well.
See, I have my issues with the game. Mostly being, if I wanted to play a fantasy sports game, I have one, and I love it to pieces, and it is Blood Bowl.
Yeah.
So I have a...
Dreadball came along and tried to dethrone it, and that didn't. Guild Ball I haven't really gotten into because, although the models are absolutely cracking stuff, I don't think they fit a sports game. I know what they're trying to go for with that kind of Victoriana.
It's earlier. It was even earlier, isn't it? Because it's aimed at the roots of. It's aimed at. I know the artwork has a style of that.
Late medieval meets pre-Victoriana kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's better. I like that. I do quite like the roots of football in the sense of pre-rugby separation, kind of going back to that inter-village game, which was played all over the country. But I like the fluffy side of things. I don't play Blood Bowl, and I don't play Dread Ball, and I don't really want to play either. The only thing, but ironically, alongside that, I do have a Kickstarter due hopefully before Christmas, which is, although doesn't look like a sport game, blatantly is when you look at the rules and scenarios, which is Ninja All Stars.
Oh, okay.
Ninja All Stars is blatantly a sports game. It is all scenario driven. It is always picking up tokens, dragging them around, almost scoring goals with things. It's the scenarios that are certainly in the pre-rules are very sport-oriented. Not necessarily football, basketball, or hockey almost, but it's very much, but with ninjas. Chibi ninjas. Chibi ninjas.
I was waiting for the Chibli bit, yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I went all in for that. It's my first money. And I've got little mini Chibli Eddie Honda coming from Street Fighter, and Sadako from the Ring series is in it as well. I've like loads.
Are these all like? Is it F Honda and?
No, he's called something completely different. She's called something completely different.
But they are quite blatantly.
Yeah, and you've got the guy
inspired by.
You've got
like
the guy
from
zombie
side stuff.
You've got the unnamed samurai from Yojimbo, and yeah, loads. It's really good. Sorry. Digress it all back to Kickstarter again.
Oh, that's perfect.
That never happens here, Kurt.
I know.
Elite Kickstarter.
Yeah. Yeah, but I was just going to say, there's also one other problem I have with Guild Ball, and that is it uses the dice pool mechanic, as far as I'm aware. which is
the dice pool.
Dice pool.
Pool.
As in where you have, as far as I'm aware, correct me if I'm wrong, you have a stat, you roll that many dice, and you need X number of successes?
No, you just need, well, it depends on what you're doing, but yeah, when hitting things, X number of successes minus X armor, you can do X thing, tackle, knockdown, push, things like that, yes.
Yeah. Which, I've never gone with that system. So that's why I looked at it and went, okay, people will enjoy that, and those people probably won't be me.
Yeah. Totally valid. I do recognise that 2d6 with a bell curve is a much more predictable system, and I do enjoy that more.
See, I also play the 1d6 system of Blood Bowl, so I'm perfectly fine with being a bit more random. I've never found dice pool stuff satisfying. It's very odd. Yeah, it's one of those things. So, but if you're enjoying it, then and clearly a lot of other people are enjoying it, because I mean,
it's good. It's good. Well, especially as the makers are friends of the show to an extent as well. We all know Mr. Loxham and Hart.
I was going to say, do we go as far as friends?
I think we go as far as friends of the show. I think
I've come to regard them as people I've met.
No, it goes further than that. I can't leave that at that. I can't, especially Matt. I can't go as far as I've met Matt Hart. No, I can't say that. It's not right. Yeah, it's I've shared room with Matt Hart for the Welsh Open, for crying out loud.
Fair enough.
Friends off of that,
Mike.
Yeah. What?
Okay. So is that all your hobby stuff?
I'm done hobby-wise.
That just
Any
came
more
out as a weird... Pardon?
No, I think that's it.
Well, I've...
How about you, Mike? Mike, how about you?
I've not done much painting due to life stuff that's got in the way.
Babies and such.
Not quite. Opposite end of the scale. Yes, I did go to an anime convention that was held at the Hotel UK Games Expo. He's normally held that, and picked up some board games from there.
Someone's leaving there.
No, there was actually a proper stall selling them.
Did it involve tentacles?
No. I already own Tentacle Bento with the Kickstarter cards. Come on.
Yeah.
So I picked up Machikoro, which is a very good sort of light city building game.
I'm much for heavy city building games.
Ah, well, in that case,
Does that build heavy cities or heavy games that build cities?
You'd probably get on much better with Power Grid then.
Oh well, yeah, Power Grid, personal favourite.
The most German of board games, and also Monopoly, but better. Now, Machikoro, very focused on your turn, roll a die. Depending on what the result is, your properties will produce money. Use money to buy better properties and build landmarks, and the first one to build all their landmarks wins. It's a very, very simple game, very fast-paced, and you should be able to get it done in half an hour. Naturally, as this is their first game, and we're playing about 11 o'clock at night, and one person was half asleep, it took us an hour and a half. But that worked quite well. Also bought Sheriff of Nottingham, which I don't know if anyone's...
Ooh, that does look interesting. I've seen that and heard good things.
I picked it up. I haven't got around to playing it yet.
It's absolutely fantastic. The whole concept is, just to explain it to people who haven't seen it, every turn, one person is the sheriff. It's a rotating role that goes around the table to each person twice. Everyone else then has to load up a bag from the cards in their hand and declare to the sheriff, once they've done that, what is in the bag. Now, they can only say one type of good, and from 1 to 5 of those things. And it's up to the sheriff to determine whether they're lying or not. You can ask any questions you like. You can ask for bribes not to inspect a bag. You can try and catch people out. Anything. If you inspect it and there's contraband, or not what they say in there, then that gets discarded. And they have to pay a fine to you. If it is what they say it was, then you have to pay them.
Ooh.
And it ends up as this very good kind of trying to catch people out in lies and just sort of watching the table and what people have already got, because if you have, say, the most chickens or the most cheese or whatever, you have a bonus at the end, and it's a really fun game. Played 3 or 4 games of it, and just watching as people sneak through 5 pieces of contraband in a single turn is ridiculous. Because you're sitting there going, oh, well, that's 35 coins worth of stuff they've got through there. Lovely. And if they'd smuggled through legitimate stuff, they would have got 6. So it's very good. Not very fast, but very good.
I found it. I'm looking at it. It does look quite good. Looks pretty.
Yeah, it's actually just been completely taken in and rethemed by Dice Tower Essentials, who are a bunch of guys in the States. Because it did get a printing quite a few years ago, but with so-so art. It wasn't great, but they took it in and they really did an absolutely fantastic number in redesigning it.
So is that what the new fat-looking sheriff is? All new stuff, is it?
Yes. They also have an app for it, so that you can sort of keep the game running on a clock, so it's it speeds up a little and also automates all the scoring at the end.
And has inbuilt noises as well.
Yes, including one that I've saw that's like include naughty sounds. I'm like,
yeah.
I'm not sure what this is, and I'm not sure I want to find out.
I want to do it next time.
I've scrolled down my Google Images search, and I've finally found Alan Rickman. Quite a long way down.
Oh, good. He's going to cut your heart out with a spoon.
Apparently so.
Why a spoon?
Because it'll hurt more. What else we got? Oh, yes, the other thing I picked up but I've not played yet is Tokaido.
Tokaido Mockingbird?
No. A board game where you aim for the most interesting journey down the east coast of Japan.
Wow.
Yes, where you paint paintings, not literally. You aim to have the nicest food, the most interesting companions.
Oh, Japan. Why are you so crazy?
As far as I'm aware, it's an American board game just with a Japanese theme on it.
Oh, okay.
It's been played on tabletop. It looked very interesting, and I thought, 20-odd quid, yeah, okay, I'll pick that up. So just need to get a game of that in. I'm pretty sure there's something else board gaming that I've forgotten. I have almost literal tons of the things surrounding me, which is why when I go back to the Midlands I need to buy a new, larger cupboard for this room.
Is that why you avoid Kickstarter then, really? Because you've got far too much already?
It's a decent idea.
Mm.
Yes.
Ever since Mike got me into Power Grid, I've been buying a whole load of stuff. Most recent, Spyfall.
Oh, dear.
Yep. It's good fun.
Yep. I would have to say, though, after having mentioned Power Grid, if you haven't played it and you're thinking, yeah, I like a nice board game, pick up Power Grid. It's really good. You'll look at it and go, this is ridiculous. It's a game about building power companies.
You read my mind.
Yeah. The concept of it sounds like the dullest thing imaginable.
Well, then Ticket to Ride doesn't sound that exciting to you play it either, does it?
Well, no, but that's at least got the advantage of large, colourful plastic train pieces.
Trains, and trains.
Yeah, exactly. It's the age of Steam. Plus, that's got a really good iPad app.
Oh.
I don't know if it's on Android as well.
It is.
But yeah, it's got a really good app.
When you say a really good app, just mean the app that you play the game on?
Yeah.
Yeah, as in you can play the game and it's really fun.
And it's also free, I think.
Yeah, free for the USA map, and then you pay for the additional ones on the app.
I've got Europe. I got that for free. I don't know if that was a
nice.
special offer, maybe.
Fair enough. So actually, if we're going with apps as well, I recommend Ascension. Chronicles of the Godslayer. That also free, very good card game.
Is this one of these ones that you have to buy packs of cards in, though?
Nope. It's a deck builder. If you want to buy the first expansion, you just pay £2 and that's the whole expansion. That's it. So it's again relatively fast-paced, simple card game. A bit like a cross between a deck builder and Magic the Gathering, sort of.
Okay.
Although thinking of Magic the Gathering, that is related to a Kickstarter that I've just finished, where I bought. Well, I've paid for the follow-up to Star Realms.
Oh yes, epic.
Oh, yes, because giving me a one-shot version of Magic the Gathering all in one was just that wasn't an offer I was going to go up on. Just, And plus a nice playmat as well. Why not?
Why the devil not?
Yes. Again, if you see me at a convention and you fancy a game of Star Realms, just tell me. I'll probably have the box somewhere.
Hidden up your t-shirt.
Damn you, Matt!
Hey, I got you in Star Realms. You got me into Epic. I think we're both to blame here.
That's true. The wargaming community is great for enabling each other.
Yeah, it really is. The other thing I could throw into there was last year's. I played a very good game. I think I talked about this last year, but last year's UK Games Expo, I played an awesome game and tried to buy it there and then, called Battle Sheep, and you couldn't buy it.
Yeah,
it had one that you could demo, and that was it. So we played it, Mr. Bryan and Mr. Mannering as well. And I played it, and it was awesome.
Excuse me. Who else?
I think there was somebody else was there as well, but I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry, who are you?
He's the guy that his wife phones in the middle of romantic dinners. That's who it is.
I had a romantic meal with John Webb at the ETC.
Yeah, but your wife didn't phone in the middle of that, did she?
No.
No.
Didn't interrupt our trip to Five Guys as well.
Are you really bringing? How much of the family are you bringing to SmogCon? Because I might have to have a word with your wife about all this at that point.
None of my family to SmogCon.
I thought you were.
No.
I thought you alluded to that. Okay.
Anyway, with this descending into drivel and banter.
Banter
I don't know what you mean.
Rex.
No, not the cheeky Nando's.
Archbishop of Banterbury.
Moving on. I think it is time that we brought this to a close. So, Alex?
You've been listening to Elite Cadre, the podcast of general gaming and thinginess that doesn't take itself too seriously. I've been Alex.
I've been Mike.
Thinginess. I've been Kurt.
And I'm Matt.
Say goodbye, Nick.
Bye, Nick.
He's still not here.
No.
He was meant to be. He was meant to be.
No, he wasn't. He's never meant to be. We just included you. Include him out of courtesy. He's never meant to be on it.
But he went to the ETC and everything. He finished 0-5.
Oh my God!
Not the best player in Europe, though. Not the worst player in Europe. Sorry.
No, he avoided that one. Anyway, good night, folks.
Night.
Night.
Right.
There we go. And it being 11:45.
Yeah.
What?
Time
I know.
for bed.
It's late. Matt, thank you very much for joining us on this journey
Stepping
into
up.
irrelevancy.
Stepping up, I believe is the phrase. Stepping up.
Yes.
Thanks for the invite.
Good fun. I'm going to collapse in a corner now.
Very wise.
Or on this very bed, kind of behind me here.
Well, turn off the camera and do what you like.
Right, night, folks.
Okay, I'll see you soon.
See you